Show sounds cool.
Dylan, yeah,
Shublu.
Dylan.
Okay. Welcome to the
Hey.
TGLM
Hey,
podcast.
Thanks.
dude,
We're here
what's
with
up?
Dylan. Shublu.
I'm Dylan.
Holy shit, it's Dylan, aka Shublu,
I'm
famous,
Shublu.
famous guy from creator of the Social Club.
I did that.
Also a Twitch
Uh,
streamer.
also a Twitch extra streamer, right?
And
Twitch streamer. Yeah.
okay. And music producer.
Mhm.
And VRCHAT aficionado.
Mm.
Kind of a VRCHAT pimp almost, you could call it.
Yeah,
I didn't say.
I
that.
heard you have like a harem.
No.
What do you mean?
Who said that?
I don't know. So like 8 women DM'd me.
That
They're
is
like, watch
crazy.
out for this fucking Dylan character, dude.
I'm gonna have to keep them in line then. They're not supposed to be telling people.
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So what? I don't know, dude. You open, Vicky, you
Yeah,
fucking
okay.
bitch.
I'll just start off with a question. So,
Mhm.
weed. What's your thoughts on weed?
Why are you opening with that?
I don't know.
Thoughts
It's,
on weed.
yeah.
Alright. Yeah, weed.
When I was a teenager, I would smoke a lot of weed. I smoked pretty much every day with my friends, or just whenever I had it. But I'm 27 now, and like as I get older, I kind of have less of an interest in it, and I don't really smoke anymore. It kind of stopped being fun. Um, I feel like it's fine. People want to do it. Probably be careful how much you do it because it's easy for that to devolve into you smoking weed in your room all day, especially nowadays when there's like vape pens and carts and stuff. You don't have
Yeah.
to. It isn't like when I was in high school and like we had to meet up in like this back alley spot before high school. We would like sit in a circle and smoke and then go to school or whatever. You can
You're
easily
school
just
high?
yeah.
Hell yeah.
And I had yearbook class in first period, which is kind of one of those nobody
fuck is-
supervising you type classes.
What
So
what
I
do you
would,
learn in yearbook class?
Well, we don't. It was like we were making the yearbook,
Oh,
so
okay.
we weren't really
Like
being
club type
taught too
thing?
much. Yeah, exactly. And that was my first period, so we would all get super stoned, and then I would go to yearbook and sit in the back, and I would watch like YouTube poops in the back. I would be like, I would be like trying not to laugh.
No fingers.
I would be like about to
Swaps.
burst. Like I was like sweating from how hard I was trying not to laugh.
What's your
But-
favorite YouTube poop? It's an
Um,
important question.
it isn't even a YouTube poop, but like the memory I'm thinking of is I watched a video of this guy putting a condom over his head.
Wait, is it the one where he like blows it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. He puts it like over his nose. He blows it up. It's a fucking
People were like
huge over his
looking at
head.
me. They were like concerned. I had to tab out, but
He's
Yeah.
so concerned you're holding in your laughter so bad.
yeah, weed is
Ugh.
awesome. I just don't smoke that much anymore at all. I'm more of a drinker now.
Hell yeah, we love drink. Well, I love drink.
Yeah, yeah. Sam,
You went off
Sam loves his
drink.
drinks.
Explain your story on how you got off drink.
Yeah,
Immediately.
yeah. I turned 21 and I pretty much got food poisoning. At the same time,
Oh.
I was trying out new alcohol and it was
That
bad.
put you off?
Yeah, it was bad. It was like that happened. Then like a week later, I drank like 8 standard drinks in like one night, and I threw up all over myself.
Oh, wait, I can vape. Oh, it doesn't
I
come
think
up.
we've all had that experience of something goes wrong and you throw up all over yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was
Well,
like,
then,
I
yeah.
think I'm good for now.
Yeah.
Maybe later I'll try it again.
You're like, this would never happen on ketamine.
Yeah.
Amen.
The same happened
Have
with weed. Yeah, I greened out really hard.
Oh yeah, the fucking dude. Your
Dude, that was
edible
bad.
was insane.
I took like 25 milligrams on an empty stomach, and then I played Beat Saber. It was bad. I also
That
ate
sounds
like
like a
4
horrible
Krispy Kreme
combination.
donuts.
I feel like you really
Or-
set yourself up on that
Yeah.
one. You were
Yeah,
like,
that was. Yeah.
let me do nothing responsible at all.
No, it was bad. I was like, yeah, it was bad.
It was like a week straight where you were just like high all the time.
Yeah, dude, it was like, I didn't feel it, so I kept upping the dose like every day. Then I got to a point where I was like, I'm gonna take like 7 of them on, like on an empty stomach.
Just inable shit.
Yeah, literally, that's what happened.
Rookie mistake.
We mentioned ketamine earlier. Have you done ketamine?
No,
Dylan?
I feel like that's just the go-to like funny drug word. Like if
I've
you
done
ever-
ketamine.
How did you find it?
Honestly, it was weird. It's like the whole world's like moving in slow motion, but your brain's still working like normal. It's really
does that
odd.
make you feel like smart or like more
No.
reflexive?
It makes me feel fucking stupid, to be honest. Because like you're also like your brain's working normal, but your body's like in slow mo as well.
Okay.
So it's like you're fucked up, but you're just walking around like as if you would like blackout drunk. But
Would
like
you
your brain's
recommend
still working on a normal. What I don't know. Maybe I've only done it once. I'd have to have more field experience.
What is it?
Yeah.
You smoke it? Is it like a pill? What is
No,
it?
it's a horse tranquilizer, and you
When you
snort
put
it.
it like that, I
snort it?
think that makes
Yeah.
me less interested in it.
Horse
Yeah,
tranquilizer.
It's literally
Yeah,
horse
when you say
tranquilizer.
that. Like when you call it ketamine, it just sounds like any
Yeah,
other.
it's just like a cool drug. Horse
Yeah.
tranquilizer. It's like I
You
should
guys
be
want to do
doing
horse
this.
tranquilizer later?
Yeah.
It's a good drug. It's the only. Wait, no, that's not true. I was gonna say it's the only drug I've done lines of. That's not true. I did AMD once. That was mid.
Did
So
what?
this is just turning into drug discussion.
And you've
I
done
mean,
like all of them.
That's
so.
a natural turn for having me around. I think.
That's
Like,
true.
we're gonna go there at some point.
What's your favorite drug? What's your drug of
Um,
choice?
I feel weird saying it because I haven't done it in like years and years, and I only did it like twice. But I really had a good time on acid.
Acid's great.
Yeah.
I
and,
could talk to you for miles about acid.
Yeah, it was like I just have like a really great like memory of it. I felt like the time that I did it, I was like I'm kind of a not nice person. I should not be like that. And then I
Yeah.
always have had like a vague interest in not being mean to people since then, which I think is a good
It's
thing.
like that ego death shit, right?
It wasn't anything like that because I didn't take that much. It just kind of felt like a kind of like checking in with how you've been acting kind of thing, like thinking about your actions and like how you interact with people. And it was really cool. I used to be really into DXM, if anybody knows what that is.
Isn't that fake weed?
No, that's salvia. That's
What am I thinking of? What's DXM again?
DXM
Explain
is
that
like
to
an
me.
over-the-counter cough syrup. It's nothing like
Oh, that shit.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the.
And
yeah.
it was really interesting because I feel like if you smoke weed, the more weed you smoke, the higher you are. If you drink alcohol, the more you drink, the drunker you are.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I've ever seen where what it does to you changes depending on how much you take. Like, I think they said that there's 4 different kinds, like 4 different experiences you can have based on how much. And I was like super into that in like 2015 or something like that.
Damn. Were you drinking lean?
I only did that once, and I don't think I had very much. And
That's-
yeah, I would like to, but no, basically no, I haven't.
It's just like codeine in it, and lean,
Yeah,
right?
lean is
Yeah.
codeine.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think that would be cool.
well, shit. We should probably move away from drug discussions. We have a million other fucking questions.
I mean,
Yeah, no worries. We can always.
Well,
circle
I
back.
mean,
I think this might be the one topic where you relate more to Shublu than I.
that's very true.
Sorry,
Mm.
Dylan. I'm sorry.
For what? What
uh,
happened?
I keep calling you a Shublu.
You can call me either one. It's not like a preference thing.
Okay.
It's not important to me.
Okay.
Hold on, let me take a hit of my cigarette.
There you go. Get comfortable.
That was cool.
All right. But yeah, I mean, I don't have much else to say on drugs. Acid's a lot of fun, but I always get really sweaty and gross and anxious. But
That's interesting.
however, one time I played, you know, the game A Way Out, that co-op game. By
Let me
fucking
look it up.
It's
Joseph Fares.
it's the same guy who made the other one.
It's the guy who went fuck the Oscars at the
Oh.
Game Awards.
I remember this game.
Yeah, me and my buddy, we both did acid, and we beat that whole game in one 5-hour sitting.
That
And
sounds like a really cool experience.
I laughed so hard, so many times that, like, at the end of it, I had to lie down because my body was hurting so much from laughing. It was such a fucking stupid experience. Because that game is dumb as shit as is, and we only had one goal, and that was to beat it. So we skipped all the side shit, and we would just try to get our way through it as fast as possible. But we were both fucked up on acid, so obviously that's a lot harder than it sounds.
That sounds like
But
a great memory, honestly.
It was a fucking blast.
Nice.
So yeah,
Stuff like that.
that's my most recent acid experience, I think. No, it's not. I'm lying. Is it? I don't remember. Who cares? My
think
brain's been
so.
fried by drugs.
Unless you didn't tell me about it, I think that was the last one. I don't know.
Yeah, that must have been the last one.
Nice, dude.
Nice.
Right on.
All right.
Okay, Dylan.
Uh,
I got
yeah, you go.
another question for you.
Go ahead.
So, I want to talk to you about streaming because you've said that you're an ex Twitch streamer, so you're retired from that now. You're done.
Yeah.
What led you to be done with that?
Well, when it started, I had a lot of interest in it and a lot of passion, and I kind of felt at the time when I started, I had this like kind of bottomless well of just energy for it. Like I could just go and go, and I felt like if I tried really hard at this, I would do well at it. And then at some point, something kind of spurred me to get into coaching. I did Overwatch coaching for a long time, and
like professional coaching.
I wouldn't say professional. I kind of just like took it up and I tried to become good at it. And I feel like I could pretend that it was professional because technically I made money here and there. But really, no, it was just kind of like a for fun thing. And I was passionate about it because I've always been passionate about teaching in general. Pretty much
Yeah.
anything that I know something about, I like to teach it to whoever like will let me. So I kind of like fixated on that, and I felt like I got good at it. So I ended up pretty much always streaming coaching. And at some point, I felt like, relatively speaking, I was succeeding because my stream was growing and there was like a kind of community. And every once in a while, like when I played Overwatch, people would recognize me by name. Not often, but the fact that it
Yeah.
ever happened was like mind blowing to me.
Yeah, that's
And then
crazy.
other coaches, they knew who I was, like not like super well, but they were aware that I existed, and that felt very affirming. And
Were you in
sorry.
like cahoots with any like big names that would like know?
No, I wouldn't say so. I think my crowning achievement of like rubbing elbows with a famous Overwatch person was J3 saw my stream and it said free coaching in the title, and he told his chat, "You guys probably need that," and then he rated me.
That's pretty good.
He was like, I was like freaking out, and then I managed an Overwatch team at the time, and I'm like, I was playing with them, and I was going, "Oh my god, no way, no way," and they're like, "What?" And then they all started freaking out when they pulled open my stream. And then I was like, "Yo, J3, I don't think you know this or remember, but you and me had an argument one time in your chat about Moira, and you like flamed me really hard, but thanks for the raid, dude." And that was really cool. And then there was another time where I found this dude who had just started streaming. He had probably like 0 to 2 viewers, and like I could tell that he already had done coaching, and he was very like streamer ready. I feel like you know what that means. Like he just had the vibe, and I'm like, I can tell that this guy is gonna do really well. So I rated him, and he ended up doing really, really well, and he had like hundreds of viewers within 5 months or so.
Damn.
And his name was MC, like rapper, like EMCEE. And he doesn't stream anymore, I think, but it was cool like that I saw that happen. And he always like remembered me. He'd be like, "Hey, what's up? How's it been?" All that stuff.
That's fucking cool, dude.
That's cool.
Help
Yeah.
mans get a start. Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, I mean, he did it on his own. It was just like the one time, but I liked that I saw it from the beginning to what it became.
Watch the growth in real time.
And then So I felt like this is looking good. I am growing and stuff like that. At the time that I was having those thoughts, I think I was averaging like 16 to 20 viewers, which is a lot in the grand scheme of things. And looking at the statistics, that was like the top 4% of all streamers. And I'm like, this is like this huge achievement, blah, blah, blah. But from that, I was making on average like $100 a month, which is far below
Yeah.
minimum wage.
Yeah.
That is
And-
fucking nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then, you know, at the same time, I was probably clocking like 20 to 40 hours a week playing this one game. Because if you play something else, you know, nobody wants to watch. And
Yeah,
then
Yeah.
coaching, usually I was coaching like the lower ranks, and usually it was Mercy. And at some point, every single VOD review, every single coaching session was like, so right here, basically, you're standing in the open, like in the middle of the enemy team. And I think that you would do better if you like were in cover and not like alone 1v6, 1v5. And it just got very exhausting. Just repeating the
tedious,
same
yeah.
shit. Yeah. And so it was reaching a point where like, you know, I'm tired of like hearing people flaming each other or me flaming people or losing a bunch of matches, and like I kind of would rather be playing the game than teaching at this point. And then what happened was I ended up getting a job for coaching. I got really lucky, and somebody connected me with the company, and they hired me. So now I coach Overwatch. Like, I guess I am like a professional coach now. And then I teach game design to high schoolers. And that was kind of like this, thank God, like I can just quit this
Yeah.
streaming shit.
Yeah.
I don't have to do this anymore. I can actually make a livable wage. And once that happened, I didn't quit yet, but in my mind, I was like, it's okay to now.
Yeah.
But for a long time, I had this weird psychological hook in my brain that would not let me stop. I fucking hate streaming now. Like, I hate it. But I just
Really?
could not stop. Yeah. And so it was this weird thing where I felt the need to go live even though I didn't want to. And so if you were to look up the stats, you would see that the streams would become shorter and shorter and shorter. And then there would be one day in between each stream. Then there'd be 2 days. Then there'd be 3 weeks. And it just
Yeah.
kept going like that. And then one day I realized I haven't even thought about streaming in like weeks. I just forgot about it. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm done now. I can like finally
Yeah.
put this behind me.
Yeah.
Would you
So
ever,
that was-
would you ever consider like, I don't know, like revamping your stream into something like you actually enjoy?
I've thought about it, and there were times where I tried to kind of like rewire my brain to be like dude, just forget all the other, it doesn't matter, just do what you feel like doing.
Yeah.
But it's hard to not become disheartened when you're doing what you feel like doing and you see the view counter go down or the chat dies or whatever, because psychologically you're going to tell yourself this means that I'm failing, this means that I'm
Yeah.
boring or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think I just could never get over that feeling no matter how hard I tried. And I also got sick of like having to be on all the time, like having to be talking or like putting on a show,
Yeah, be like energetic and shit. Yeah.
because I'm not an energetic guy. I'm pretty like mellow. And
Yeah.
mellow, I don't feel translates well, because that just means that I'm sitting there being quiet, because I don't use face cam either. So it's like, why the fuck would I watch this guy just like brain rotting AFK on Overwatch or like playing Valheim or something?
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think your worst experience streaming was?
Worst experience, I've had weird moments. Like, I'll try to make this a not long story, but I managed that Overwatch team for a while, and there was one guy who was a little bit problematic.
Like
And
a
I
little
also-
bit or like a lot, a little bit?
Just a little bit. It wasn't like
Okay.
this huge thing. It was just more like that joke was not funny, and nobody here thought that was funny, and now we all feel kind of weird.
Oh.
And you're not racist, but you're like close. You're like
Yeah.
racist adjacent.
Yeah.
And-
Okay.
From my experiences in social club, whenever I like manage like a space, now I have this approach of it's just how I want to do things. Like, this group is based on how I like to do things, and everybody should know that. And if you don't like my like mentality or how I approach things, then you just don't need to be here. You can go anywhere else, and that's
Yeah.
totally fine. And so I make that clear on my Overwatch team. Like, this is not like a pro team. This is not a like here to make money thing. This is more like if you feel like, you know, sweating on Overwatch and then you want to chill out with people that get along, then there's that. And so he would kind of turn stuff into like political debates, and he kind of like wouldn't let them go. And
What like era was this? What like year would this have been? Like recent or like?
if I had to guess, it was maybe 2021.
Oh.
I do remember that I was in social club at the time, and it was like near the tail end of social club. So it was like around 2021 probably. I'm bad with years, but that sounds right.
Yeah, sounds
And
correct.
so anyway, to make a long story short, it was reaching a point where I was like, I'm just gonna tell this guy that like he doesn't need to be here, and it went like that. And he kept calling me bigoted because I wasn't like open to his thing, and he made a Discord server and invited like a bunch of people that I know, and he was like, "You guys are all free from Shublu here. You guys can speak your mind here."
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
like he invited like my IRL best friend, and he's like, "Hey man, just so you know," and then he let me know, and I'm like, "That's weird, but okay." So, you know, we laugh about it. Life goes on.
Yeah.
He ended up queuing into one of my Overwatch games, or no, his friend group did, and I forgot who they were. Like, I didn't recognize the names. So they waited until the end of the match while I was streaming, and they all just started screaming the N-word over and over and over again.
That's crazy.
And
Fucking
whenever
hell.
people do that, my reaction is just to not even do anything. Like, I just like sit there,
Yeah.
and like I don't have a face cam, so it's like, I don't know. I'll wait until you're done. Like, you can just
Yeah.
finish what you're working on.
Yeah.
And they do that, and I'm like, all right, like, what happens now that you've done
Yeah.
that? Like,
That
no, you don't
you
do
got
that.
me. You said the
And
N-word
then-
a bunch of times. You got me. Wow.
And then they called me like a snowflake, and they called me bigoted, and I'm like,
What?
mind fuck right now.
Yeah,
The
bro.
side, yeah.
That's a brain rot.
Yeah, and so that for me, that's like a very memorable experience. But besides that, I can't recall anything super noteworthy. It was just kind of like a very slow nosedive, where every day you have a little bit less fun, and like hearing these two 15-year-olds scream at each other is a little bit more annoying every time.
Yeah.
Oh, I do remember there was this guy. I don't remember his name, but he was in one of my Overwatch matches, and he had a catchphrase. He would play Ryan, and he would go, "Prime time, Ryan time," and then he would end. And like, he wasn't meaning to end. He thought he was like doing some shit. Like, he would pin into the enemy team and expect it to go well, and maybe like a fifth of the time it would, but every other time,
Yeah.
this guy says prime time, Ryan time, and then you watch him sail away, and then you just see like you
Die
hear the
immediately.
Reinhardt like, ugh, the death noise. And I'm like, man, fuck this guy. And I look up his name, and he was like an ex-Twitch streamer with like thousands and thousands of followers. I'm not sure how he got those followers. I'm not gonna say anything, but that
Probably
seems
by
weird to
doing
me.
primetime Ryan time, dude.
Prime time Ryan.
That's a
That's
classic
that's
bit.
content.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, that was super annoying. I'm glad that I can like never see him again. And then for the next week, he would just appear in my matches. And I don't know if you remembered me, but I definitely, like, I wouldn't look at the names. The match would start, and I'm like, you know, doing my thing, minding my business, and I would hear prime time, Ryan time, because he would whisper it like that. And then he would just sail away, and I'd be like, dude, Jesus Lord, just get out of my games, please.
Leave me alone.
It was like he was like following me like a demon. Like, he was haunting me, dude. And there would be little moments like that where there'd be like reoccurring characters for a week, and I hated it every time.
That's crazy. So like that, you're pretty sure like he was like following you because of your Twitch stream, or you think it was just random?
It was random. He didn't care about me, or like, I doubt that he even noticed that I had met him before. I do remember one time like vocalizing my disappointment in him. I think I don't know what I said. It was probably just like, dude, please fucking stop. And then he said something along the lines of like, but it's prime time, Ryan time. And it's like, if you say so, man. Like, it doesn't matter anymore.
It's primetime Ryan
It's
time.
probably random.
Yeah,
That's what
but-
every fucking Reinhardt player does. Though.
they're
Sorry,
almost
Overwatch
always
wrong.
like that. And yeah, it just kind of slowly stopped being fun. And I think I exhausted that like determination I had, and then also at the same time I had like my best friend that I was playing with, and he didn't want to play anymore, and I had another friend. There was like three of us.
Yeah.
All two of them, both of them, they stopped playing, and it got to a point where I'm kind of just alone now.
So
It's hard to have fun in that instance.
Yeah. Did you continue to like enjoy the game, or were you just like done with like Overwatch?
At this time, I pretty much like don't even think about the game, and I'm sad that I don't like it because I'd like to continue playing, but
Yeah.
I'll play one match and I'm like, I'm good, and then I just
Yeah.
Yeah.
stop playing.
My
But,
experience with Overwatch have been just like miserable. Like
yeah,
I don't know. Obviously, I'm not a pro Andy, but you know, I made it to like plat something.
Mhm.
I was up there, and fuck me,
good.
it's literally the most toxic game I've ever played. Like more than CS:GO.
It's crazy.
People get so pissed about every single thing.
Yeah, and they're quick too. And I have this personally, I like to believe that I'm a good people watcher. Like, I can tell like who's gonna say what thing. I've noticed that most people when they get in an Overwatch match nowadays, it's just silence, or maybe somebody does the little high voice line, or like
Yeah.
maybe like one dude's like sup. Every once in a while there will be somebody that's like, hey guys, hope we're gonna have a great game, and that's the first dude to lose his mind. It's like he had a wake-up call and he's like, I'm gonna turn a new leaf in this match, and then he just absolutely does not. But like
falls off the
every
wagon.
time, like I got to a point where I felt like a fucking like a war vet that's like back in the trenches every time I would queue up, and you know, I'm like, I'm not even gonna talk, I'm just gonna mind my business, play the game, and then I'll queue up again, and then I'd see like, hey everybody, and I'm like, fuck man.
Fuck.
Guy's a time bomb. He's unstable.
Unstable creature.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like if you play enough competitive games, you get guys who, like you could win a game with a guy and he's great to play with, but you can just tell that if you lost that game, he would have been the worst guy to ever
Yeah.
have on your team. It's just like,
Yeah,
you can just tell the vibe sometimes.
Yeah.
and I do my best to avoid those people because I didn't know that at first, and then I would play with them and I'd be like, why are you doing this? Oh, you know what? This didn't happen on stream, but I met a dude, because like if anybody is watching this and doesn't know this, in Overwatch 1 you could actually join Overwatch groups and they would have titles, and sometimes people would just like sit in them just to socialize, and so you would see a lot of weird titles. There was one that was like, I'm a cop, ask me anything. So obviously I join it and I just like sit there, and then there's like one dude who's like a leftist who's kind of like trying to grill him, and then there's another dude in there who's a bootlicker that's like, sir, yes sir, anything you say sir. Just, like up his ass the whole time. And
Salute.
yeah, exactly. And then I was like, you know what, I don't need to participate, I'll just listen. For some reason that guy wanted to be my friend. I must have said something, but he ended up playing 7 Days to Die with me, and the more he talked, the more I'm like, this dude is nuts. He could have been trolling easily, and I've had people tell me that, but he felt genuine to me. He started talking about like how he knows the earth is flat, and how like he's very devout in his faith and whatever, and I'm like, I need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But
Scientology.
yeah, I don't know, but we ended up playing Overwatch, and the moment the match started, he started blasting dubstep through his like mic, and then he picks ball and starts like insta-feeding, and I think somebody spoke up and was like, hey, can you like not do that? And it was a girl, and he just started saying like sexist shit to her the entire time. and I felt like I had unleashed him on these people. And I felt
Yeah.
responsible, like I'm an accessory.
You let the pit bull loose into the kindergarten.
Yeah, exactly. Now I'm just like watching it in shock.
You dropped a nuke.
I really
Fucking
did.
Oppenheimer looking at the fucking window.
Silly, what the fuck? Look at
So
Dylan and Albert Einstein.
Yeah.
I think we fucked up, dude.
I think we fucked
I-
up big time, dude.
Really fucked up here. But I left that match as fast as I could and blocked him on like every app that I had him on. I think I had him on like Steam and Battle.net, maybe Discord, and I was like, I never need to think about this again.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so many weird Overwatch people.
What do you
I think,
think of like? Oh, sorry, you go.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna ask, well, like, what do you think of like Overwatch like right now compared to like back in the day? Because I was playing Overwatch in 2016, like on,
Oh yeah, me too.
on release.
For me,
Like,
it's a I think the video game, you could say the video game community, I guess, is frustrating in general because all they really know is what they see when they play. And there's a lot of video games out there that take pretty good lengths to like communicate. Like they'll have a blog or like a YouTube channel, and I feel like they say as much as they're allowed to. Like, hey, we've been working on this thing for a few months and can't say why, but we couldn't do it, and so now we're doing this, blah blah blah. And
Yeah.
like people will be like, how come they don't just do this? Like I could probably do that. Like it's probably just like 2 lines of code. And it's like every game I've ever played has had people that say shit like that.
That's so true.
And so Overwatch, because I was, such a nerd about it, I would read all the stuff and watch all the videos, and it was pretty well communicated that they're like, we are doing what we can with the hand we've been dealt. Like basically from day one, this has not gone the way it was supposed to. Like Overwatch 1, for anybody who doesn't know, it was never supposed to be a live service game. It was supposed to be like a typical, like a traditional product release where they shipped it and they were done, no updates. And
Yeah.
then, so the entire dev cycle was like framed around that. And then Blizzard was like, you should update this game like perpetually. And they were like, we don't have the people, we don't do that. And so that's why everything was built that way. And then Overwatch 2, they were like, you should make a sequel. And they're like, we shouldn't do that because remember what happened with Destiny and Destiny 2 and how it like split the player base in half and nobody liked it and it was really stupid. So they made a compromise, which is Overwatch 2 goes on top. Everybody hated that.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
basically been that, where it's like the game is shitty, but I can empathize with these people because they're really just trying to make it as good as they can. And
Yeah.
I think another thing that they said was this game is supposed to be different from League, where the whole point is you can switch whenever you want. And they said, we were really surprised that people have mains and they don't want to switch whenever they want and they just want to play their favorite character, which means that like from the ground floor the game does not work because
Yeah.
people don't like switching. So what that means is like if people don't want to play like that, then you're gonna have to just change the way the game plays. So my opinion on Overwatch is that it's just inherently not a functional game. It just
Yeah.
doesn't work. And if it, from what I know, it's way more frustrating than like CS:GO or Valorant or Siege because you feel way more locked down by your teammates. You feel like
100%,
you're more
100%.
fucked.
Yeah.
I've
So-
gotten steamrolled in harder in Overwatch than any other game.
Yeah.
You just get rolled. Like if your team is worse, you can't save it by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the solution is, but I think a lot of people would agree that Overwatch in some way feels way more fun than other games that are similar, but it's infinitely more frustrating. And I'm done. I'm tired of the steamroll, and I'm tired of like, will you please switch, and then they say no, or
Yeah.
like I switch and it doesn't matter. It's a broken game in my opinion, which I feel bad saying that, but that's what I think.
I
about it.
very much agree, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
I respect that. I felt like ditched PvP games entirely, pretty much. I've been playing TF2 recently, but that's it.
Yeah,
But
you're a
that game
baby.
that game stinks right now because every single server is filled with bots that just
Yeah.
aimbot cheat and vote kick every living player
And
I've heard
spam
about that a
racist
little bit.
audios.
and spam the most racist audio of all time. It's
Classic
horrific.
VRCHAT move.
Yeah.
It's no, but like it's insane. Like I have this clip and it's fucking like it's this supposed to be an OCE, like an oceanic thing. I'm from New Zealand, if you didn't know, for the record.
Right.
And so like it was this like racist Australian guy like on like this big rant about like killing black babies and stuff, like shit, like awful shit like that. And like he'd get kicked, and then the next guy would join, and the rant would continue exactly where the guy who got kicked left off. And it was like, what the fuck?
And they were different people.
Yeah.
Different people, all bots, but different people. And it's like, oh my god,
How did
they have
code
this down
that?
to like a science.
That's a lot of like coordination and ingenuity. Like
It is.
you
It's
engineered your
insane.
racism.
Yeah.
They did. They've perfectly engineered racism. I don't know how they pulled it off.
There's like a
And
dude
they-
in like a lab coat, like holding a test tube up to like,
Yeah.
be like, ah, yeah,
So racism.
we perfected our racism on TF.
Pure 100% racism in this test tube.
Like, dude, you could like go to university or something.
Yeah, literally, like the motherfuckers that make these bots must be like way smarter than like 90% of people, but they just make racist fucking awful bots in TF2.
Yeah,
It's like cool. It's a cool way to
It's,
spend your time.
Yeah.
absolutely mind-boggling.
Yeah.
I think. Oh yeah, I was also playing Code Vein for a little bit. I heard that from the vibe I got when it released, I was like, this is like shitty weeb Dark Souls, and then I played it, and it was pretty cool. I actually
Yeah.
really liked it. I did have a Breath of the Wild addiction a couple years ago, and then that game really
Nintendo
like.
baby. Nintendo baby.
Well, it was on Simu, to be fair. I haven't
Oh,
Team
played
Solid
that,
Blue.
though.
You're one of those guys.
I am one of those guys. At least I'm not a TF2 racism bot spammer though. I haven't sunk quite to those lows yet.
That's good.
Soon, in no time.
Yeah. Oh, GTA Online. I was into that for like a good month or two, and I was playing constantly. And this was
Bro.
at a point where I had gotten more into like motorcycles at that time, and I still played games, but it wasn't how it used to be, where I would play pretty much all day, every day.
Yeah.
I was kind of I kind of lost interest, but I got back into GTA Online, and the first thing I did is like I logged into the game after struggling with downloading it, getting my account, all that bullshit.
Yeah.
I spawn into the game, and then I get bombarded by all those little text notifications that are like completely pointless, but it reminds you that this guy has a job for you.
Oh,
This
yeah.
Oh,
update
yeah.
is available, and then
Yeah.
the screen goes black, and then I find myself teleported into a room with 40 other people, and I'm like, oh, fuck. And then we all get blown up immediately by a geyser. And then I forgot that that's a thing, you know, and then I like respawn. He starts chasing with an oppressor. I'm like, you know what? This town needs a hero. And so I looked up GTA hacks. I downloaded GTA hacks, and I spent the next like 2 months being like the Batman of Los
What?
Santos. I would perch on the rooftop, and I would wait for there to be griefers, and then I would hunt them down until they left the lobby.
That's
Like, I
wow.
would- There'd be like, you know, one like Brazilian dude doing like the cargo run mission on his own. He's like, man, please stop, leave me alone, please. And then
And you
I would
swoop
see,
in.
yeah, I would see if the griefer would leave him alone. Once he says to leave him alone, if he didn't, I would like make his car get launched into orbit, and then pop the tires off of it, and then make it start doing flips, and then I would eject him from the car, and then I would spawn him into the ocean, and I would just keep like doing stuff until he left, or I would just crash him.
That's
but, like,
crazy.
I got so much joy from that. Or like I had like a very specific outfit and like a bike that I thought was cool, and I would just like sit in the middle of the street, and then there'd be like a dude coming towards me like trying to run me over, and he would just phase right through me, and then
Yeah.
I would like look at him and see if he would do it again. He would just keep trying it over and over. It was a lot of fun.
You mentioned just now that you're into motorcycles, right? That's
Mhm.
like your jam. Do you have any
Yeah.
wild motorcycle stories?
Oh man, I feel like so nothing super insane or crazy. Let me. Okay, so I ride with a few people that I met. First of all, motorcycle is really interesting because it's like very much like a brotherhood kind of thing,
Mhm.
and
A gang.
I wouldn't say gang, although there are gangs, and they do not like us. Like,
You're part of
There's
the
a
Hells
cool-
Angels?
not yet. I don't think they would take kindly to me personally. I have met them, and
Are they
they
chill?
no, no,
Oh.
Yeah, I would imagine that.
no. They have this kind of thing where if you're not like on a Harley, they do not like you, and you should not approach them at all. And there was a time where my friend was like, "Hey, do you want to go to so and so town just to hang out?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." What I didn't realize is that it was like a big bikers hangout area. And he's
Right.
like, "Do you want to go to this diner all the bikers go to?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Keep in mind, my friend rides a Harley, and so we
Oh.
pull into the lot, all Harleys, all like old fat white dudes with bandanas, like chilling by their Harleys, and then they look at me, and they all just like stare me down. That's the thing that they do is they stare you down. Like they really want you to know you can't be there. They're not gonna do anything, but they want it to feel weird.
Yeah.
Um, and then what was even weirder is I saw a family member there, and he
Oh.
like pulled up on a Harley, and then he had a cut, which is like a gang vest that has their
Yeah. Yeah.
symbol on the back, and I'm like, I have like kind of face blindness. I'm really bad at recognizing, so I'm staring at him, and I'm like, is that him? And he looks back at me and does not smile. He like did the stare. They're like, we don't fuck with you stare. And I'm like, I did not know you did that. I had no idea. So that was interesting. But mostly my like adventures on bikes is just me goofing around on the highway with my two friends, and we'll be like, going in and out of traffic, going in between those like giant commercial box trucks and stuff, which I was doing earlier today, and it was very terrifying because it was very windy today.
Yeah. Isn't it like
Um,
that downdraft that fucking sucks you under?
Is that real?
That's real.
I have never had a downdraft that sucked me under a truck before.
Doesn't that happen? I thought that was a real thing.
It sucked in like water.
Like a jet turbine.
No, that happens. If you drive past like a big fucking truck, you get like
They-
sucked underneath it.
The wind on the truck blasts like outwards, so it starts pushing you if you get close to it. It's like pushing you away from it, and it isn't enough to like throw you, but it definitely feels noticeably uncomfortable, and you're like, I should probably get past this guy. It's mostly that. I will say a short story that I always enjoy is me and my friend were pulling out of a gas station, and then we saw like this like tweaker on the side of the road throwing rocks at cars, and he had a good arm. He had a really good arm. I don't know like if it was the drugs or just him athletically, but I'm like, we should probably get out of here. And so my friend like pulls past him, and then the tweaker like goes from looking at the ground to like he looks up at my friend, and you could see like a flame spark in his eyes, and then he picks up this big ass rock, and I swear to God, he did like a Looney Tunes like wind up, he like
Like
locked-
spinning his arm around.
Yeah. You could tell that was gonna be like an orbital strike of a throw, and I'm like, dude, we need to leave like right now. I felt it like whoosh past my head. Dude.
Oh
That
my
could have
God.
like, if that hit somebody's windshield, it would have like final destination somebody easily.
Jesus Christ.
But that's pretty wild. I don't think I have any crazy stories. Mostly we just kind of we go out, we go look at nature and go to lakes and stuff. We went to San Francisco not too long ago. My friend wanted me to go today, and I'm like, that's a 8-hour trip, dude. I'm not doing that in one day. That's brutal.
That's
But-
far.
Yeah, it's just fun. It's really just like a good time, and it's kind of nice to have a hobby that doesn't involve sitting at your computer all day.
Yeah.
Can't relate.
Yeah, I can't really. Well, actually, I started running a couple months ago. That's
Oh
fun.
yeah, running's really fun.
Have you
I used
gotten
to
into
love
that at
running.
all before?
In high school, I loved running, and then I also loved skating a lot, but I don't think I would enjoy running anymore. I do like skating a lot, but I don't think I would now because of how shitty the roads and the sidewalks are here.
Yeah.
I liked e-bikes a lot for a little bit. I was curious about like modding it, and I would like to get the trendy like e-bike everybody else is getting on social media, which is called the Suron Light B or Ultra B. It's like basically an electric dirt bike that can go like 40 miles an hour, but it's
Shit.
got an ungodly level of acceleration. So it's kind of like you sit on the bike and then without touching it, it just does a wheelie instantly.
That's crazy.
It's a lot of
fucking
fun.
cool.
I recommend checking it out online. It's super expensive. It's like $7,000 or something, which
Oh my
like
God.
you could just get a motorcycle at that point. But it's cool.
That's cool.
Fuck yeah.
7 grand.
Not much of a runner, I have to say.
Most, I feel like
Mm.
the odds of someone being a gamer and being like a runner is very, very low.
Yeah, not a lot of gamers are doing much besides sitting.
Yeah. Which is why I started doing it, because I'm like, dude, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die one of these days. I'm not gonna wake up.
I'm gonna melt into my chair.
Yeah, I've definitely had like gamer dread set in of like I'm just like sitting here for hours and hours and hours, because
Yeah.
especially I'll have moments where I'm like, man, what a long day of gaming. I better do something else, and then I move from my chair to my bed and open my phone,
Oh, dude, I do the same thing.
and I hate becoming like randomly aware of what I just did.
Yeah.
It's
Being like,
bad.
It's pretty brutal.
I had this fucking era in like 2020 where like I don't know what it was with me. I think it was because maybe it was even early. No, it was earlier than that. It was like 2018, 20 like when I was in high school, where I literally blocked out like all the sun from entering my room. I don't know why. I hated the sunlight like a
make you go
fucking
crazy.
vampire.
That's
Yeah.
like that meme of the dude on 4th of July and he like shuts the curtains.
Yeah, he's just that was literally me. I
I've
had
done
my
that.
curtains safety pinned shut so that they wouldn't open, and like it was like looking back on it, it was awful because I would just go to bed at random times and just wake up and I didn't even care what time it was because
That's a
it
form
was
of
always
torture,
pitch
isn't
black.
it? like
Yeah, that
in
sounds
like
bad.
Like I don't know.
Solitary confinement.
It pretty much was, except I had my computer. I had my
That's
little
wild,
gaming
dude.
PC.
Fun people in
I,
the computer.
Yeah.
I remember in, I don't know, like 2014 or 15, it was like an achievement if I stayed up until the sun came up. And then
Yeah.
now it's like, it feels like a time bomb of like the moment I start to see like the daylight outside, I'm like, what the fuck have I done, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did I do?
It's like pure regret. It's like, oh no.
Yeah.
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 Especially when you start to hear like daytime noises, like a lot
birds
Yeah, like-
lower.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, birds.
Like
There's
traffic
something-
and shit.
It feels like they're mocking me.
Oh, it's bad.
I
Yeah.
hate that shit so much.
I've had,
Also, that
go
era.
ahead.
Sorry to interrupt. In that
You're good.
2020 era, I was also getting drunk like every single night,
good time.
which was not helpful. But you know, it made things a little more enjoyable because I could watch shitty Adam Sandler movies while shit faced.
That also sounds like a lot of great memories.
It was me and my
I would
buddy
look
because this
back
was
on that
during
fun.
quarantine. Me and my buddies had a huge Sandler phase, where we would just watch a fuckload of Adam Sandler movies and just get pissed drunk like over like Discord since we were all in quarantine. And it was perfect.
I don't know if Vayner feels the same way, but like that was around the time you and me met Vayner.
Mhm.
When the whole pandemic thing happened, you know, that was like peak for me. That was like peak doing nothing times. Like I was just playing video games. I didn't have anything else going on.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom when I came out of my room one time, she was like, "Hey, just so you know, there's this thing happening, you know, and we're gonna have to, you know, stay in the house and stay in our rooms." And in my head, I was like, "So just keep doing what I'm doing." Is
No,
what I'm doing.
dude, straight up. I've talked with Sam about this quite a bit, but so I was homeschooled. It's pretty much the entire time I was in school. So like I lived like the neat lifestyle
Yeah.
since I was like 13. So like yeah,
Mhm.
COVID like changed nothing for me. I was
Yeah.
still going to bed at like 8 a.m., waking up at like 5 p.m. which is
Yeah.
horrible. I think that made me like the most depressed I think I've ever been in my entire life.
That's interesting. I not that you were depressed, but the reaction. I don't know if you felt this way, but to me it was a kind of, I don't know, like whiplash to go on social media and see everybody being like, I've had such a hard time adjusting to this lifestyle and everything just feels so miserable and terrible. It almost felt like they were like talking about me, like, do you
I
have to live
know.
like Shublu and like this?
Yeah,
shit?
yeah.
How does
No,
he do this?
Yes, dude. Straight up, I've said those exact words to fucking Sam
Yeah,
before.
you literally have.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
It was weird because like, I don't know. I'm just playing games, man. I don't know what you guys are
Yeah.
talking about over
It's
there.
like, yeah, this is how I was living before COVID. Like, what's
You guys don't like
is it
this?
really such a big deal? Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, why are you guys freaking out about that?
And I'm like, am I crazy?
yeah. I was
Am I
like,
crazy for never leaving my house? And it turns out the answer
it's
is
like, yeah,
yes.
yeah. I wish it was a yeah, probably. Yeah, probably wasn't great. But yeah, it
Yeah.
was like all these people are talking about like COVID trauma, and I'm like, damn, like if they did that for a year and all fucked up, what am I for the past like 7 years been doing this? It's like, damn.
Yeah.
Really made you stop and think, and then continue doing the same stuff anyway.
Yeah, the same thing pretty much.
Yeah, I did not change.
I've definitely I'll have to say from social club I've grown a lot in terms of not
That's good.
being as just as I was, which was I couldn't drive. I was nervous. I didn't like to. It was so bad, dude. I had so much social anxiety. I couldn't use like a cashier like register line. I would always use self checkout, and if the self checkout wasn't available, I would just leave. I wouldn't buy anything.
That's
just
funny.
bad.
I'm the same way. I mean, it sounds like you had a harder time than I was, but I had kind of similar issues where it was really hard for me to be outside and just around like crowds or other people, and
Mhm.
I would always kind of dread going to the grocery store.
Yeah.
So I can totally empathize with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a similar shtick because I was diagnosed with agoraphobia when I was like 16 or something.
Is that the fear of people?
It's the fear of leaving your house,
Oh, okay.
which obviously doesn't help the rotting in your chair gaming thing. I'm mostly over it now,
Right.
which is
That's good.
fucking good. I can actually leave
Yeah.
my house. I leave my house like all the time. I try to go outside at least like once a day. But
That's a
holy
great
shit,
habit.
it was miserable.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Because it's like every time I would walk outside, it's like everyone's looking at me. And shit like that.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm freaking out. Like everyone's looking at me.
you.
I'm gonna do something stupid. I'm walking funny. Like I'm hunched over. Like my posture's bad. I was just worried about like the dumbest shit in the world,
Dude,
and I was worried that
yeah,
like
I'm the
everyone
same
was
exact
judging me
way.
for it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awful. It's such a horrific
it-
way to think.
It's funny because for me the bike has helped with that a lot, because when you have the bike, people kind of want to be nice to you, and
Yeah.
it goes from everybody's looking at me because they hate me to everybody's looking at me because they want to like say hi or something.
Mhm.
And that's nice when you have like the helmet on. For some reason you get like this helmet confidence thing where you're like not anxious, maybe just because your face is covered.
Yeah.
But when I go into the store and I'm not wearing it, it's like everybody's definitely looking at me. Like
Dude,
this time I'm
oh.
not imagining it, and I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
And that
I-
feels weird.
Yeah. But like biker community is like really close and shit, right?
They are. The only problem is that they're usually in their 30s, and their like MO is like racist, sexist humor, which
Oh.
I don't have a problem with if it's funny. I don't feel like they're funny, and
It's not even like, yeah, it's not even.
it's
funny,
kind of just like
awful humor.
being sexist and racist. And then they also have this thing where like your bike's not fast enough, like you're slow. You know, that they're always like kind of egging you on to go faster or get a bigger bike. And
Yeah.
a lot of them drink and drive, or they'll ride while they're high, or they're squids is what we call them. A squid is somebody who has like a very fast bike and wears no gear, like shorts and flip-flops type shit.
Shit.
Ooh.
And some of them are good riders, a lot of them are not good riders, and so it's kind of like I don't know if I want to be around. Oh, you know what, I guess that's a story. Is I went to do a group ride. I got invited, and the guys like, because they're all on Facebook, bikers are all on Facebook, and I'm like in the local groups. I made a post and I'm like, anybody want to go for a ride? This guy's like, hey, me and some buddies are going to go on such and such day, meet us at the meetup spot. And so I go expecting there to be like 3 people. There's like 7 there, and like my stomach drops because I'm an anxious person. That's too many people.
Mhm.
And they're like, okay, it's time for us to go. So we start riding for like 10 minutes, and then they all pull over, and I'm confused. And then 20 people show up, and they're all on like leader bikes, which is like basically one of the fastest bikes that are out there, like 170 miles per hour, like
Shit.
300 kmh, I think is
Yeah,
what it
yeah.
is. And then another 20 people show up, and like a couple of them are wearing gear, and then it just felt very intense. And then someone's like, all right, time to go. Everybody just zips off, and it was getting pretty intense. I remember like we were going to this place called the Dragon. If anybody wants to Google it, it's in California, and it's called, I think, the Little Dragon or the Tail of the Dragon. And it's called that because it's an extremely windy road. It takes a lot of skill. It's very scary if you're new. And, you know, one wrong move and you just fall off the mountain, essentially. We were all going there, and I'm like, this feels dangerous because of everybody wanting to, like, impress each other and not wearing gear and all that stuff. I came around a corner. I was probably in the middle of the pack, so people are in front. I came around a corner, and I just see like a giant crowd of people in the middle of the road. They all got off their bikes, and they're like, I see like a dude's legs sticking out of the crowd. He's like on the ground, and I'm like, oh, he's done. He's cooked for sure. And then I see like, you know, like a streak of like gravel and dirt that he must have hit in the middle of the road. So he was coming in hot, and the road wasn't clean, I guess. And everyone there is a dude, but there was one lady there, and she was cool as hell. I think her name is Michelle. I don't know if I should say that or not, but she was like very old, probably like 70s, but she was like
Damn.
about her shit. She was like head to toe leather suit, and it had like that suit had stories. It was all scuffed up. She had like this band-aid on her face. You could tell that she was a good rider.
Yeah.
And I'm like all like wide-eyed, like, dude, that guy's probably like really hurt. I walk up to her, and she's just kind of like chilling, and I'm like, that guy fell. And she's like, yep. And I start moving over towards the crowd. The crowd kind of disperses, and then Buddy just kind of got up. He was just wearing like True Religion jeans and like a yellow flannel.
Damn.
And like
the
whole
Trues?
flannel is like, yeah, he had that was how I knew it to stay away from that part of the pack, because they all just had like designer clothes on. or,
I'm,
like,
I'm wearing
shiesties.
shoes right now.
He just got up, and like his whole flannel was like dangling from him, and then he just walked over to his bike. That was that's kind of the general vibe of riders, is doing stuff like that.
Yeah. It's like that skateboarder ethic where you just like keep getting up, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And I kind of shy away from those groups just because they're so big, but also I don't think I have too much in common with them. But they're all very nice. They're always very nice to other bikers.
That's good.
That's good. That's something. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
That's cool. Okay, we have.
So- Yeah. Come on, dude. I'm giving you space here.
I know. I'm just looking through the list of.
I'm just kind of letting it like settle.
Yeah,
I like
we can-
feeling the tension build.
Oh, we can just hang out
Dude,
for a
I
second.
I hate this motherfucker.
Yeah.
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 Now there's like a
Yeah.
sexual tension.
Yeah. There's a.
Why did you say yeah?
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, Dylan, that you're not
Behind
aware
the
of right
scenes,
now.
yeah.
I'm gonna blow up a cigarette in your
Is this
fucking
like
face.
I'm being approached at the bar, and then you guys are like, oh, we liked your vibe. Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
There's like 3 more topics and then a bunch of random, like, really quick questions we could go through.
Yeah.
Well,
totally.
we haven't touched on like the main shit.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm just looking at the time and stuff.
It's fucking semantics, Andy. Just talk.
I know. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to say.
No worries.
Yeah, we can go into the VRCHAT stuff because I think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's something we
Totally.
all have done this. We've all been there.
Mhm.
What? Wait, you go. You ask.
Yeah, what's your experience in VRCHAT? Because if you use it for a little bit, I think you can suss out like every single subcategory of person that uses it. You got the alcoholics.
Yes, absolutely.
You got like the kids. You have like the e-daters. You have the
Yep.
kid e-daters. The adult
Whoa.
ones are a lot more sadder than the kid ones.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you've got all the guys that talk like this.
I met that guy
So-
yesterday, and he's like, "Actually, I have GERD." And I'm like, "GERD doesn't sound like that, dude."
That's crazy.
Because we've all heard like the forced deep voice, but this was a whole. It felt like he was curled into a ball, like contorting his body to get his voice to sound like that. It was
He's hanging upside down from the ceiling.
Like a bat.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
he had learned a method to like if I just invert my trachea like this, then I can get my voice to sound exactly how I want it to. And then it felt even like at first I felt bad because like I'm like, oh, I'm being an asshole. But then he gave me like his unprompted like sad backstory, and I'm like, okay, you're full of shit, buddy.
They all sound like bootleg Corpse Husband, and it always makes me fucking laugh.
That's what it
Because
is.
they're always
too,
like
is,
really close to the mic, and they're like,
Yeah.
it's like I don't get out of my ears.
What are you guys doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah, what that? That's
Yeah,
actually
that
really
was
good.
perfect.
That's
a
actually really good.
They just always have the exact same like. It feels like they have to maintain the same pitch of voice as well.
Yeah.
It's like so now they can't laugh or do anything happy or emotional. They have to maintain the character.
Yeah.
That guy that I met yesterday, I was like, "What's the highest note you can sing?" Because I wanted to see if he would like
And you'd be
actually.
like, oh. Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't
What
go
was the
for
highest
it.
note?
He
Oh,
like
you just
deliberately like broke his. He's like. All right, man. Have a nice day.
Alright, cool, dude.
That's
But
crazy.
my experience with VRChat was like, I wasn't aware of kind of the culture of it, and I was just really excited to get into a game where I could socialize, because like I'm not in college, I work from home, stuff like that, and I was like, cool, I'll meet people. It'll be like its own social club shoot off sort of, and then like you said, everybody is kind of like weird, like
Yeah.
really weird.
There's a weird
and-
like VRChat vibe and like culture. It's really
Yeah.
strange.
And if you ever have played an MMO, you've probably had a similar experience to me where you're like, I'm having a lot of fun. I'm like questing and leveling up. And then you might make a couple of friends, and then you get kind of familiar with the social side of the game, and you're like, some of you are weird. Like
Yeah.
really weird. Like some of you are on this game a little too much. But it's always kind of like only some of them in MMOs are like that, where you find this like dark underbelly of people that they developed an entire second life in the game that they prefer to their first life, and they have like an E family and E drama and
Oh,
like
yeah.
oh dude
Oh.
blah 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 and all this crazy shit. VRChat feels like everybody's in the dark underbelly. Like there is no
Yeah.
rest of the body. It's just
Yeah.
that
It's just that.
everybody is like inundated by this pointless ass drama, and
Yeah,
then
everyone's in like a clique, and it's like weird.
yeah,
And you
it kinda
can't talk to
feels
them.
like
They won't talk to you if you're just a
they
random.
won't talk to you, and because I played it once, I think a year or two ago on desktop, and so I was familiar with it then, and now I'm really into it the past 2 weeks with a headset. But it's the same thing as back then, where there's like people that they just seem kind of slow, like they just seem kind of stupid,
Yeah.
and they take themselves surprisingly seriously, which is weird given the circumstances that we're in.
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
there's like
Yeah.
people who they've just discovered the concept of being unserious, or like baiting people or trolling, and their idea of
Yeah.
trolling is just like making their avatar like a prolapsed asshole and then saying the
Yeah.
N-word.
Like being really
Yeah.
loud. Yeah.
And that's all they know. And it's like, but the thing is too is they have like a certain like youthful bright excitement when they're doing it. Like they're like, dude, this is gonna be so lit when I do this. This is gonna be so funny to my friends.
They're gonna
that
get
I'm
so
bringing it to."
trolled, dude. They're gonna get so mad. And everyone just
Yeah.
immediately mutes them and blocks them. It's
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's weird is like, it's like they approach while like you're near and you're like watching it and you're like, it's this person doing this again. Like, why would I care?
Yeah.
But then the group is like, hey man, stop doing that, man.
Stop
And
that.
Stop.
It's just like, why are you both stupid? Like, I guess I get it because maybe you guys are seeing this for the first time, but surely you've seen this enough times in the game in the time you've played it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just so weird how like they're like so stoked to like oh, my avatar is like a funny meme character and I'm not being serious. This is so funny.
you know
what I'm
that way?
doing.
This is so novel.
Yeah, they think
it's
it's so novel. And then there's like the people who they have like their own little family and stuff, and you'll walk past and like, yeah, can you believe that she said this about him? Like I just blocked him instantly. Like I'm not here for that. I'm not here for drama. It's just bizarre. Or like two people that are fighting so much to the point a crowd is formed, and and then they're literally just talking over each other, and it's like, I don't think you guys are even arguing about a subject anymore. You kind of just
Yeah,
like
they're just,
letting like your feelings out.
Yeah.
It's kind of beautiful. I feel like they're gonna cry at some point and
Like,
hold
hug it
each
out.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I get it now, man.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I didn't make it.
Like at the end of the day, it's clear that both of you have had a very hard time in life, and I think you're sensing that between each other.
Yeah.
So I've seen
Wow.
that,
Yeah.
and then what was funny is like there's a huge furry community there, and I've never had exposure to the furry community before. Like I've always known about furries and stuff, but it was always brief
Like
interactions.
secondhand. Yeah.
Yeah, or like in social clubs somebody might be a furry, and a lot of the time they'd be really weird. They would be super weird, and
Yeah,
I'd
I
be
know a
like-
really weird social club furry myself.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I do too. I wasn't gonna say anything, but it's Zayna. and
Yeah,
Zayna's
that's
really
crazy.
weird and furry.
I'm so cringe and weird and strange and off-putting.
But that was always my experience, was like, this person is a little odd. But what was funny is when you go to VRCHAT, the furries are the nicest people and also the most well-adjusted.
Yeah,
Almost
they're
every time.
Yeah.
They're just very chill, normal. They all kind of have that same voice where it sounds like they studied comp sci, and now they're like,
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
That's true. That's really
Yeah.
true.
but they're nice, which like sadly enough, at least they're nice. when
It's a
everyone else
rarity
isn't.
in VR chat.
Yeah.
I
And,
swear, so many people like log into VR chat just to start arguments with other
There
people. and
is.
It's like why?
a lot of them.
There's a weird breed of guy that me and Sam always run into where like this guy just goes around fighting people. Like he just like
Oh, yeah.
he
Every
just he
time.
says 20 insults as fast as possible and tries to get people to argue with him. It's like
It was
why are you
funny
on
is
here?
like, I'm sure that before it was kind of like it's like the modern day version of going to a bar and like sizing somebody up to like get into a fight with them, and I bet this person did the
Yeah.
same thing where they like picked somebody in the crowd, and now it's like he's gotten efficient to where he's just kind of like he's got like the N-word with a switch where he just does a lap. He just does a lap and tries to like gather people
Yeah.
as
Yeah,
fast as he
it's-
can.
It's
I've
such a
met that guy.
miserable-
I've like walked in on like that guy fighting people, like like I found it as it was halfway through, and now I'm kind of
Yeah.
like curiously watching. But I've done that. I've met a lot of e-daters and a lot of people who like just want attention. I met a tweaker the other day. I don't know what he was high off of, but he gave me like Too Mad vibes. Like
Oh.
it was just kind of like tangential, lots of like saying things that aren't related to each other, but it like
Yeah.
clearly he had like many thoughts in his head
Yeah.
happening at the same time. I found producers in the Black Cat, like that world, and so I was talking to them. This dude came up to me and he was like, "Oh, you're a producer. I'm about to make you famous, bro. Like I'm gonna put you on. Don't you want to like feed your family and all this stuff, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Okay, like what are you talking about?" And he goes, "Give me a beat to rap on." And so I'm like, "Okay, cool. I don't think you would like it though, because usually I've had that happen before and they don't like my music, so I like expect that now." And I'm like, "If you want me to, I will." And so I play it, and he's like, "Shut that shit off. That shit's trash." And it had been like 8 seconds,
What?
and I'm like,
Damn.
"Okay." And then he goes, "Put on another beat," and I'm like, "I don't think you're gonna like it. I think you just don't like my beats." And he goes, No, man. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult you and say how like trash you are, but just put on another one." And so I'm like, "Okay." And while I'm doing this, I can hear him talking to somebody else. So I'm like, "Oh, maybe he's like streaming and doing a bit, or like he's got his friend in the room or something."
Yeah.
So I put on his second beat. For 2 seconds he's silent, and then he giggles like the Joker, and then he's like, "Shut that shit off. That shit's trash." And I'm like, "Okay, like I think we've like discovered something. I think that you don't like my beats, and I feel like we can like kind of part ways now." He goes, "Nah, dude, I already rapped to it." And I was like, You haven't rapped to it. You didn't rap to either of them." And he goes, dude, I've been freestyling this entire time. I've already sent you like 6 songs, and I'm like, I met you 5 minutes ago. I don't like have you on Discord or I don't know who you are. And he's like, man, I'm like streaming to 12,000 people right now. You just want to embarrass yourself, like you're just afraid to like be in front of the camera. And I'm like, you're streaming? And he's like, no.
What is his interaction?
What? Yeah. This guy's like insane. What the-
Yeah. And then I could hear him like turning away from the microphone, and I'm like, do you have friends in your room? And he's like, no. And then it was like becoming more and more hectic because like a girl came over, and I would never be able to put it into words, but it was giving me like e-girl vibes. Like she heard me like making fun of him kinda, and then she joined in on it. And then the guy walked away, and then she starts talking to me, but she's got that like e-girl voice, you know?
Mhm.
Like
yeah.
she's like trying to do something.
Quiet.
so-
Whatever, the fucking like
Yeah.
fake anime girl ass voice.
Yeah, and so I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And then the guy comes back up to me, and then this time a crowd forms, and they're like, what's going on? And I'm telling them what's going on, and then we're all kind of like, you know, poking fun at the guy, trying to get him to freestyle.
Yeah.
And then the girl was hitting on me a little bit, and then she started hitting on the dude next to me that I had just met. And I'm like, oh, so you're just kind of like gathering like a roster right now. That's what that was earlier.
Yeah.
And then the dude, oh, okay, so at some point her like boyfriend or something showed up, because I could see them like talking to each other, and they were doing the whole lap sitting type thing.
Mhm.
And then this happened where she starts hitting on the dude next to me, and he's like, isn't that your boyfriend right there? And all 5 of us, because we're a group now, we all look over, and he's just across the room like watching it, just like standing there perfectly still. And the one guy's like, yo, that guy's a cock. And as this is happening, the tweaker dude is like freaking out, you know, and like still going on a tangent, and we're trying to get him to freestyle. So many things were happening so quickly.
Holy shit.
And then the dude they call the cuck, he starts like arguing with them, and the girl is still hitting on the other guy while this is happening, which made me more sad. Because it's like,
It's miserable, yeah.
yeah, you didn't even care to defend that guy.
Wow.
That's just another free payment of Discord Nitro, who that guy is.
Hey, yo.
Exactly what that was, yeah. And that's interesting too. I made a genuine friend group. That was really cool. Just like,
That's cool.
I enjoy trying to have like just normal conversations with people and actually just make friends, and it's few and far between. It's more like you're kind of watching like a TV show of just weird characters and stuff like that, and then sometimes through the static of it all, you can like be like, hey, what's up? What did you do today? And they actually tell you, and nothing weird happens, and you have a good time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's very rare. I don't think I've had.
Ex-
yeah,
There you go.
There you go.
Well, I was gonna say
Smile.
like most of VR chat is just like the worst caricatures of like every single community like online.
yeah. And
Like they walk around and talk like fucking cartoon characters, dude. Like it's
They do.
Yeah.
insane.
And I think it's interesting because a lot of the time it's either like a reflection of who you are, or it's like a reflection of what you're trying to be. Because a lot of them, they
Yeah.
try to make a little persona, or they're just using it as like a place to vent and kind of let their ugliest parts show. And
Yeah.
I think it's such an interesting, it's just like a weird parallel to real life, because there's like its own little etiquette and social rules, and
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting how these like different social groups form and how they interact with each other. And I thought it was interesting too how like it's normal for guys to use female avatars, and I'm
Yeah.
like, is this like a gender identity thing? Like, is this something to look into, or did you literally just give up on finding a guy avatar, or is this like when people play video games and you pick the girl character because you want to stare at her butt?
Yeah.
I'm honestly I'm pretty confident it's probably the last one.
Or a mix
Because
of
all the
Yeah.
guys with fucking female avatars always have like big fucking bahonkas and are in like bikinis and shit, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
odd.
And it's because the thing is it's different when you're playing a video game that's more like, I don't know, Horizon, you can't pick the gender in that one, but you know, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not identifying as the character. I feel like in VR chat, all you can do is identify as your avatar because you're
Yeah.
just who you are. So
Yeah.
I was like, is this game like normalizing like different gender roles, or do people not notice that? Like, I wanted to kind of ask people that too. Like, how come you picked this avatar? Does it mean anything to you? I think
Yeah.
that's interesting.
That is an
Yeah,
interesting
that is
question,
really
to be
interesting.
honest. Yeah. Ah.
I did have a stint back when I was still streaming where I would go on VR and try to interview people. But what I failed to realize is that what interviewers do is they interview a lot of people and then they just upload the interesting person.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. There's a lot of boring people,
Oh
and
God.
it was pretty
Yes.
depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I gave up on that because I'd be like, what's like a person that you admire that has had an effect on you? Which is like a shitty question, but you got to start somewhere. And then be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, why'd you pick this avatar? And they're like, I don't know.
Looked cool.
Yeah.
It's
All right,
like,
man.
fucking. Alright, cool. See ya.
Yeah, thanks for talking with me.
That's how conversations go in fucking real life too. I did a big round about this in the last episode, but like dating apps, it's the exact same shit.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, hey, how are you? Good. So what are you doing? Nothing. And then just conversation's over, and it's like, cool, great. That was fulfilling.
Yeah, I was just talking with somebody that I met on VRChat about dating apps, and I was telling them how like I've always been a huge believer that it's not really like a competition. Like you're your own person, and you have your own qualities and like your own kind of beauty, and there's guaranteed somebody out there who appreciates that. And then I
Yeah.
tried dating apps, and I'm like, oh no, it's a competition for sure. Like my
Yeah.
profile picture needs to be me on my motorcycle with like stacks of money, and then
Yeah.
I have like my arms around like 4 friends, so that way people know I have friends. And then it's like I have like teeth whitener, and my hair is styled and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Because like you're literally just marketing yourself. It's all based
You
on
are,
your
yeah.
profile picture.
They're swiping based on how you look and nothing else. And it's like,
Yeah, and
like shit.
you know, if I like sat next to somebody at the bar, maybe I could say something funny relevant to whatever. Or if we're playing a game, if we're like playing VRChat, something funny can happen. On a dating app, it's literally like a blank screen. Like, so what do you do for work?
Yeah. Just the most dog shit small talk of all time.
Nurse. Cool. Yeah, no, that's. Nurse
I know someone who's a nurse. Oh, really? Yeah. It's like,
It's never yeah. It's always like the next day. Yeah.
yeah. 24 hours later, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like, okay, cool. So,
I,
that is some beautiful
kicked
stuff.
my Ethernet cable out of my computer, but it looks like I'm still here, so we're good.
You're good.
Good job.
It's like the German, like.
It's pulling the plug out.
Yeah, where he's like, did I shoot the power button with my big toe?
Yeah, everything like stalled for a second, and I'm like, I don't know what I just did, but I know that I did it. But VRChat has been really cool. It's been interesting developing a friend group, and
Do you think it's like, so? Because do you think it's harder for like people on desktop to make a friend group than people with like motion shit, like the headset?
I don't know, because I feel like personally I would have made these same friends on desktop because it was just about us conversating. We weren't doing anything headset related,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I have heard like mutterings of people don't care if you're a desktop user,
Yeah.
or like even if you're a Quest user. I have heard that before, but I don't think any person above the age of like 15 actually would even have that thought cross their mind.
Dude, you would be surprised. But like me and
Yeah.
fucking Becky over here got fucking
People were being
smoked.
like, it felt like people were being like racist, like classes
Yeah.
to us.
Yeah, Colossus. Yeah.
Questy,
Like,
desk.
Yeah,
you-
I have a Quest. I use virtual desktop. But like when I play with Sam, I just go on desktop. People do treat you differently. It's really weird.
like you can't even interact with, like, because it's a whole groups of like, you know, the full motion tracking gang, you
By the
know, like
mirrors.
full body tracking, yeah,
Yeah.
right by the mirrors. And if you even just try to interact with them, it's just, I'm pretty sure they just immediately block you.
They just ignore you, and we're not like I think we're both like user rating or whatever, like the ranks.
Yeah,
Which isn't
We're
we're not,
not,
we're
yeah,
not like
new.
visitor ranking.
Yeah.
But obviously,
And like we're
it's,
not being like rude. We're just being like, hey, what's up? And they're just instantly gone. And it's like, okay, well, fuck.
yeah. But
Guess I'll never try to talk to anyone.
yeah, that obviously that is like public lobbies, like popular public lobbies.
Yeah.
Because
I have had that happen to me.
yeah, it's real strange. It's real strange.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, like, I do know that that happens, although I guess maybe it happens more than I expect, because now that I do have a headset, I can't remember the last time somebody ignored me if I said hi.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I also usually say hi when it's like only me and that person next to each other, because I feel like
Right.
it's a little more like, what are you gonna
Personal.
do? Ignore me?
Yeah,
You're gonna
yeah.
ignore me when it's just the two of us?
Oh, dude, wait. I have a little story. This story happened to me yesterday. It's not VR chat related, but this is fucking insane. I was walking to a mate's place yesterday, and fucking, I was almost there, and on the fucking street corner, there was this guy just sitting there vaping over and over again, and I had my headphones on. He like waved at me, and I was like, okay. And I took my headphones off, and he went on to tell me about like how his ex hadn't called him in like 6 hours, and he was freaking out about it.
That feels like VR chat.
And it felt like VRCHAT. I was like it was just this random guy. I'd never seen this guy in my whole
You're
entire
like, hello?
life. Yeah, and he was just like, well, he gave me a hello. He was like, hey, and I was like, hey, what's up, dude? And he's like, hey, can I get some like relationship advice? And I was like, I don't, like, sure. And he's like, yeah, my ex hasn't like picked up my phone, like their phone in like 6 hours. I'm really starting to fucking freak out. And I was worried, like in the beginning, I was worried that like he thought like she was like missing, and I was like, oh shit, like. You might like call her friends or something, see if you know like they know where she is. But no, he was just worried that she was on a date, and like it was the oddest experience ever. Like I wouldn't be surprised if that guy was on something. At the very least, he was tweaking for love. His heart was tweaking.
Yeah.
Um,
You say love is a drug. You should have been
yeah.
like, she's cheating on you, dude, and there's ants all over your skin right now.
Yeah, because I can see worms burrowing out of your pores. You should really look at that, and then I just run away. But like he like kept going, like he had me like, locked in this conversation like a fucking Fallout NPC, and I was just
Oh,
like,
yeah, I've been there.
half my answers were just like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you should probably do this. Yeah. And then like, eventually, I literally just had to be like, I'm sorry, like my match place is just over there. I've got to go like now. And he was like, but like, can you give like my way? And I was like, I gotta go. Like, it was so.
It's hard to
fucking
do that
strange.
as an anxious person. It's hard. To
It
be
is.
like,
It was
I
so
have
hard.
to go.
I was like, I can't. I don't want to be in this conversation anymore. This fucking stinks my ass. So, I skedaddled out of there.
That is
It was
so
so
funny.
weird.
That's very VR
It
chat
was-
coded interaction.
Yeah, that's
It
my
absolutely
little
is,
story.
dude. I had something, not quite like that, but I think it evokes similar feelings where like, I got into this habit recently because I'm like so into the VR right now that like I was waking up in the morning and then I would like put on the headset and I would just like drink coffee and like sit in like a public world, and then I would wait for somebody to sit next to me and then I'd be like, hey, like, what's up, how's your day? And then it was really nice. I like doing that. And this person sat next to me, and I wish I remembered how it started, but it was very, very tame. Just like, oh, you know, just got on the game, whatever. And I think she's like, yeah, this is my new account. I just had to get away from it all. And I'm like,
That's very loaded.
Yeah.
what do you mean by that? And she's like, oh, you know, it just felt like my old VR friends. They were, God, I hope she never sees this. I don't think she would, but now
No
it's
way.
like freaking me out.
No
But
way.
she's like, oh, they only wanted to use me. They only wanted to like use me for what I had. And I'm like, that sucks, man. Tough. Like, yeah. Yeah. And then she's like, yeah, I gotta take my medication in 30 minutes. And I'm like, oh, word. And she's like, yeah, I gotta take it 3 times a day. And I'm like,
Cool.
yeah, 3 times a day. Gotta stay on top of that. And she's like, you can ask me what it's for. Like, I'm an open book. And I'm like, what's your medication for?
Yeah, she clearly wants you to know.
Yeah. And then, you know, obviously, like in classic like VR chat, she like lists like 18 different illnesses.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's crazy, you know, that you like are alive and like able to walk and stuff. And she every once in a while she'll like show up to like what I'm doing, and then she kind of just like attaches to the group, and then if there's a lull, it becomes about like her ex or whatever, and like I'm getting,
God.
I could totally be imagining it, but I'm getting a vibe like she's gonna pick somebody in my friend group to be like her new boyfriend.
Ooh.
That's scary. Watch out.
Yeah.
Warn your bros, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like some of
Might-
them might be susceptible as well.
Whoa.
So I'm watching. I'm
You
watching.
might
Yeah.
ruin some guy's life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Very spooky. There's always somebody like that where they're just ready to. There was a thing that I liked doing. I found a world called Therapy. It's got a deck of cards with questions on it, and I had like it was a very pure, wholesome night where basically there's a crowd of people running around like rah, 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 just like shouting and being annoying and shit, and then this one
Yeah.
dude's like, he like hands me a card and he's like, hey, you should answer this question, and I'm like, yeah, sure, and I do. And then I hand him the card and we go back and forth. I don't know how it happened, but from all that chaos, it turned into like 8 of us sitting in a circle in a literal therapist's office, passing the card around and then answering the question like one at a time. And people were like very graceful, very adult about it. They were like, oh, I've just had a hard time at work recently, and I just hope that things get better. And then they would hand the card over and that's it. Like
That's
very,
fucking cool. Yeah.
it was very mature and like just nice. Everybody got a chance to talk about whatever. And then of course there was the one dude that's like, yeah, back when I was homeless in Japan before I joined the military, you know, and I'm only 16. And like, every time he like had the card, it was this like 5-minute diatribe of like how he's had every lived experience possible. It was never about the question. It was never like the question was always lost instantly. And then I was getting to a point where I wanted to be like, okay, all right, next person.
Yeah.
Next up. Pass
Yeah,
pass the talking hat.
Yeah, just take the card from him. It was so bad. But aside from that, those are like my favorite times in VR chat, where it's like out of all this chaos, it's like humans just kind of being humans for a moment.
Yeah.
It's very, very pure. There was another
that's-
time where there was like a dude from China who didn't speak English. I don't know how, but he like picked me out of a crowd, and we ended up speaking using Google Translate. And like, even through the completely dead tone of like a Google AI voice, you could feel that he had this like wanderlust for being outside of China, and that he was like just dying to know what's out there. It was very
Yeah.
like very sweet, very like I hope that you get to
Like
experience, you know.
childlike wonder.
Yeah. It was
That's
it
good
was
to know.
giving like Disney movie main character ready to start
Yeah.
his journey type shit.
I gotta
That's
get out of
cool.
my town.
Yeah.
I gotta see Hollywood.
I gotta see
And then,
Florida.
Yeah, I mean, I would like
I gotta go to
imagine that, but-
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
I'm going to Gary.
I'm gonna Gary, Indiana. I can't wait.
To see that guy in Gary, Indiana would be without knowing English too.
Oh god.
But little bits like that is like what I live for. Like,
Yeah. Those little like
just-
glimpses of humanity.
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah, I agree. That was like, I guess this is kind of a
We've done that a
segue.
couple times.
Yeah.
Maybe a
Yeah.
handful of times, me and you, Sam. I think
Yeah.
I think the best moments I've had is just like seeing just like the crazy stuff, but like with somebody, like with Sam, like not alone.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
Have you heard of like there's like straight up strip clubs in that game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people pay you for like dances. It's crazy.
They
I
do.
haven't been, but I've heard of it. Yeah.
We should go.
We
sometime.
went to one.
Yeah, we did.
How
we
did
went
that
to
go?
one. It was fun.
It was really
Really
funny. Yeah.
ridiculous.
It was a lot of fun, and people like there were a couple of people that were actually talking to us, which is insane.
Yeah.
Because especially in like a joint like that is super clicky. But
Yeah.
there were some nice people. But oh yeah, but I had a segue. So we like talk to random strangers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Omegle has shut down.
Yeah.
It has.
Whoa.
Pretty intense.
I don't know,
That's big.
Becky, you take over. This is your area here. The
Yeah,
social club
right.
started it on Omegle, right?
Yep.
Do we start with Omegle or do we start with Social Club?
Start with, open with Omegle.
We'll start with
right?
Omegle, and then we can go on. Yeah, that's crazy. Shut down.
Did you hear about why?
I saw the creator posted a big long thing that I
Mhm.
read, which I feel for him because that would, knowing that my creation led to all the harm that came
I
from
am
it.
become
Yeah.
death.
Yeah, literally, straight up
The Omegle
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much what it was.
His creation was bigger than himself. He
It
had
was
no
Oppenheimer
idea.
deleting the nuclear bomb.
Yeah. He uninvented the nuke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you?
But
I assume everyone here has stopped using those types of sites for quite a while.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's none really around anymore.
Not
Like
really.
random chat sites. Those sort
I
of
looked
died
for
out.
a while because there was like an Omegle like subreddit, and so there were questions like, "Where do I go now?" And people actually were creating Omegle clones, and there was
Yeah.
2 or 3 of them that it seemed like they were kind of cobbled together by like maybe one dude, and they were trying to look identical. There was another dude who wanted his to be the best one, and so he would flood the other ones with a bot saying like a bunch of like racist shit and then being like, "Mine's better, by the way, go to mine."
That's a great way to bring in a
Yeah,
a fan
and then
base.
I think that was enough for me to be like, maybe my time is over here. This is like a
Yeah.
sign that
Mhm.
I'm really reaching the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I guess this is kind of a story. I don't even know if we've mentioned this on the pod. Me and Becky met on a random chat site.
Yeah, I don't think we ever
Oh.
talked about that before.
We met on Sham Chat, which is
It's
one of those Omegle ripoffs.
It was a meal ripoff, but geared towards roleplay.
It was geared towards roleplay. I used to use it a lot because I like the fact because you could like change your name on it, so it wasn't just stranger.
Mm-hmm.
That was that's the only sense of customization you had. But it made it way more.
Play as.
We weren't role playing.
Well,
Oh,
we had names though. We did have names.
Well, I was like, my name was like Clown or a Monkey.
That's not true. You were Monkey and I was Rat. And
Yeah, I was Monkey. You were Rat. Yeah.
And
Instant
this is
connection right there.
literally because this is a website where every user had like a super detailed like character name.
Yeah.
Where it was like, I'm Ryan. I'm like 5', 11, INFP, like Taurus, like
Wow.
6-inch cock.
yeah, stuff like that. It was super detailed.
Yeah.
And I would go on there because I'm like, I don't know, I was like 19. I was just super bored.
Yeah.
And it was funny because some of them would be like, they would entertain you a little bit and then they'd get bored and leave. But I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
that's a win. If Ryan's talking
Yeah.
to me.
I met a couple of very chill people on Sham Chat. 'Cause I used to use it a lot when I was younger because I was a lonely teenager that spent all his time in his pitch black room.
Mhm.
So, Sham Chat was like a good place for me to like meet relatively
Light in a
like-minded
dark
people.
place.
Yeah, because especially since I'm from like New Zealand, there's like not like because I was very online and like there's not people around here that are that online.
Mm.
So Sham Chat was a good place to meet fellow online people. The only problem is that they all live not here, but you know that's fine, obviously. But it was nice to meet people, and that's how we met. I met old fucking Becky over here
yeah.
on
Mm.
Christmas Eve of 2019.
Which is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Social,
beautiful.
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I think you and Social Club were the only good things to come out of me spending probably over 100 hours on those websites.
I've
Which
spent
is
much
like
longer
an
than
amazing
those.
compliment. That's like
Yeah.
I hear that sometimes, and it like really does like warm my heart. It makes me very proud.
Yeah, it was good.
So, do we want to talk more about Social Club?
Yeah. So yeah, Dylan, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think about Social Club?
I feel like the energy of it, like the culture, like I've had like instances in my life where I wanted to be like in charge of a social setting, almost like usually always online, but it never clicked in my head that I was doing that until Social Club. And the Social Club was the first time that I took a very aimed, specific, intentional approach at everything of it's gonna be like this, and I want the people to act this way, and I would not let in people like this. I was like very deliberately specific, and I think it was kind of like a culmination, kind of like everything I've experienced so far, I want to put that into action here, and I want this to be like the ultimate hangout spot to like kind of fill fill in that thing I was lacking of like, you know, an online hangout spot.
Mhm.
So when I think of social club, I think of just how pleasant it was when it was pleasant, when it was like going well, just how like I can come here and I can just say something in the general chat and we'll all have a laugh about it. We'll all talk about whatever and there's just no issues.
Yeah.
And everybody's fun to talk to. I'm like happy to see everybody that's here. That's always like the first thing I think of is just how it was just very pleasant. It was very cool. And then we could, to me, it felt very comfortable. It felt like I'm not afraid to say what I feel like saying. Nobody else here is afraid, and none of us are going to be upset by anything anyone here says. We're
Yeah.
all like completely aware that we're in good spirits and that we don't mean any harm to anyone.
Yeah, the vibe of social club was very special, and now that like obviously now I'm getting older and I've thought about it more, I definitely didn't appreciate that was very curated by you. You know what I mean? Like
Mm,
I remember when I got mod, which I didn't do anything at all. It was just I just liked having my name up there. But
that's fair.
like I remember like there was a lot of text in the mod channels about how like specifically like how you want the server to be ran. And
Mm,
it was like, did it just come naturally of like towing the line of like, because obviously everyone's coming from Omegle, so you have to draw the line somewhere. And I feel like the
right,
server had a very nice of like, everyone's like a little bit shitty, but no one's like a piece of shit. You know what I mean?
right.
There's
Nobody
like,
was outright malicious.
yeah,
Yeah, I think
I think it was like a
some
really
stuff.
good happy medium. Sorry, go.
No, that's fine. I agree with that, and I think some of it did come naturally, and then other parts were kind of like a learning experience. But I do remember I've always felt like I'm a good judge of character. I've always believed that I'm good at judging you based on what you give. And what I mean by that is like what you chose for your profile picture and your name, the way that you choose to type, what you choose to tell me, and what you didn't choose to tell me. Because some people, you know, if I just met you and you're going off about your like ex VRCHAT family, I'm like, oh, you're fucking weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And now I know that you don't need to be, you know, in my social circle because you're gonna turn it all into your drama, right?
Yeah.
So,
mhm,
and then I've spent so much time online that I've learned this like golden rule that there's amazing people anywhere. And
Yep.
so I felt very inspired and I was like, I don't care how long it takes, I'm going to use Omegle as a funnel and I'm going to collect all the amazing people so that we have a place to be together where we
Yeah.
can just circumvent all the awful people. And then it'll be my job to keep them out and keep this place nice.
mhm,
And so, you know, people would come in and they would have like an edgy name and I'm like, oh, you're gone. Easy. Took no
Yeah.
work at all.
Yeah.
Or they come in and they would be like those VRChat people where they're like, hey, I'm going to be really loud and obnoxious because this is the only thing I know to do. So,
This is how I'm funny. This is
yeah,
my
exactly.
joke.
That's how I'm
Yeah.
funny. So I'm like, it was just very easy work in my mind. And, you know, if you come to a place like Omegle and you just want a good conversation, I feel like that's very apparent in the way that they talk because they they offer conversation. They are willing to contribute to one. So I would just like look for that. And I knew that if I could get a handful of those people, that the server would become self-sustaining, and then I could kind of relax and uh, add people in as slowly and carefully as I wanted.
Yeah.
yeah,
And then it was a fun experiment, and then it just became, you know, little things that I wanted to change, or like, or oh, I don't like that I said this, or I don't like that we acted this way. Maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe I should adjust the server here and there. So when it was going well, it felt very natural to me.
yeah.
I won't make this a long story, but you probably heard me talk about how I was in like a trade school at some point.
I think so.
Oh, well, I was in a trade school, lots of weird characters. That's its own story. I met a dude there who would probably fit right in social club, but so he was like an IRL because I met him there.
Yeah.
He became a friend of mine on Facebook, and through Facebook he became friends with my internet friends. He and an internet friend got married, and now they live together.
Dang.
So I
Dang.
introduced them apparently, and they like moved several states to be together. I didn't know this until like a week ago because we hadn't spoken in like 5 years.
Damn.
So this was like a huge news to me. I had no idea. But congrats.
What did they
to the
say?
two of
Did they
them.
just be like, "Yo, thanks for like hooking me up"?
He added me on Steam and he's like, "How have you been? We should catch up." And then he's like, "You won't believe who I'm married to." And that was very interesting to me because in real life, I only knew him IRL at the trade school. And when I was there, he didn't talk to any girls. So I'm like, who is he talking about? Because he never had a girlfriend there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I genuinely don't know who you're talking about. And so then we're on the phone, and it was like this huge like suspense thing where like I can hear someone else is in the room, and then he'd be like, "Do you want to talk to him?"
That's crazy. It's like your
Yeah, and
uncle
he
or
would hear a
something.
voice.
Yeah.
And then eventually, like, he hands her the phone, and she's like, "Yo, it's me," and I'm like, who?" And because it was
Who?
just her voice, and then
Yeah,
she said
yeah.
her name, and I'm like, "Oh, that's crazy." And they just like kind of filled me in on what they've been through. They've been through this whole crazy ordeal the past several years, but they sound very happy, which is super cool.
That's
That is
good.
good.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
hell
was just
yeah,
wild
fucking-
that two different worlds like that would
Yeah.
collide is fascinating to me.
Yeah,
But
that's crazy.
Through your
back to,
connections, 2 people have gotten married. That's insane.
yeah, I don't know if there's been more than that. I think it's just the two. But back to good times. I think we spent a lot of time like in VC with like a lot of people, and it always kind of felt like a no drama, no bullshit hangout. Kind of everybody's like laughing. From what I remember, anyway.
Yeah.
And like, I would always have this like proud dad feeling. Like I would look at the voice chat and I'd be like, look at all of these people coming together and being happy and like just joking around and nothing bad is happening. I love this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I think I can't really point to any like specific memories besides just a general happiness and like pride.
Nice.
Fuck yeah. I mean, that's worth it, baby.
Yeah, the vibe of Prime Social Club was like, it was really good. It was really good.
Yeah. And I still want to kind of try to create that again. I think one day I will. I don't know how, but I understand now that that's what I enjoy doing, what I want to do, and I want to manage a space of some kind and just
Yeah.
create places where people can be happy together.
Mhm. Oh, that's cool.
Thank
That's a
you.
good way to be, yeah. Hell, I don't know. Becky, you got any more social club questions?
Let's see, there's a big list of them on the freaking thing if you have it pulled
Yeah,
up.
there frickin' is, but I wasn't in social clubs, so you should be asking me. The word.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the craziest thing that happened? I can think of like, there's like
A
DJ.
lot?
Yeah, there's lots of crazy characters.
DJ Shadowfox?
Yeah, DJ Icebox, whatever that guy's name was.
I hated that guy. Oh my god.
That guy was weird. That guy was.
Yeah.
I don't remember
He was
exactly.
the VRCHAT.
Was he?
VRCHAT character. No, he just would fit in.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Alright, he was like a dude who I probably should not have even interacted with because he clearly had like something going on mentally. So like
yeah,
why
100%. Yeah.
why like stoke the flames there? But I would get mad because he would claim that he's like a musician or something. And then initially I'm just kind of like curious. I'm like, what do you make it on? And then he was like, it's a secret. It's like a top secret. Nobody can know. And I'm like, do you want to show us a song? And what would he do? He would like send YouTube videos that's like from his iPad of like an app where you like play sounds in sequence. And I'm like, not really like a producer. And he was like very adamant, and then he would like post YouTube videos of him like swinging sticks around, and he was
Dude.
like practicing sword fighting.
Yes, I
Oh,
on my
is that the one you showed me?
Yes, that's the same guy. I found like an edit I made of him where like I put like Doom music over a clip of him swinging his little stick around. It's so good.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah. So he became kind of a legend, you know,
Yeah.
the time that he was around. I do remember at the very beginning of Social Club, it was way edgier than it became later on, I think.
Yeah.
And this part might have to get like edited out or like cut out, but this guy bragged about having a girl's nudes, and we were like, that's cool, but you also don't need to tell us that. And he posted them, and it was a girl who clearly was not right of
Of
mind
age.
enough to
Ooh.
give nudes.
Oh.
Oh, even worse.
And
Okay.
yeah, like she was clearly like mentally disabled, and we were like, dude, this is not
Oh.
a flex. This is not a flex at all. Like, we do not think you're cool right now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm not gonna go into more detail, but it was like just bizarre.
Yeah.
And there was another time, I don't know how like in the know you were about this, Vayner, but this guy joined. He probably won't like me talking about this, but I don't know him. I haven't known him since that happened. He was from a country I will not disclose. Could be America, could not be. And he was like a scammer on RuneScape, and it went so deep that he was uncomfortable having his voice be heard, or his like anything relating to his identity. He did not want anybody to know who he was, even based on voice. So he would
was he
join
like
the
a
VC.
high level scammer?
That's
Like a-
great. I didn't know about this.
The way he was talking, it was like there are definitely people looking for him.
Shit.
Jesus.
And you know, anybody could be lying at any point, but he just sounded so distressed. He was like, he gave this vibe like he desperately wants to have friends, but he was scared to.
Right.
And he would join the VC, but he wouldn't talk. And then there would be a point where I would be the only one, and then he would talk to me. But even then, he was having a hard time doing it. And you know, he would just tell me how like he's like scared, and it's just how he makes his money and stuff like that, and that he knows a lot about how to do what he does. Like he's been around, I guess.
Yeah.
So I know that he's around. I know that he's like in the server, and that he wants to be friends. So I would try to include him and stuff and be like, you can talk if you want, and he would say no. Anyway, the reason I'm saying that is that's the setup you need to know. Somebody joined alleging to be like a 12-year-old and a girl, and they were posting videos of like a 12-year-old girl with like a shotgun or like guns and stuff like that, and then talking about like how she sells nudes. And then, you know, we're all like, that's not okay, you shouldn't be here, blah blah blah. And it got to the point, because if you've ever like spoken to somebody that age, it's kind of like they want to have like a crazy story to tell, and they'll obviously dramatize things.
Yeah.
And that type of speaking is normal for a kid. This person started to sound like they wanted to like rage bait, and I'm like, this isn't a kid, this is like somebody that's just a really weird troll. And
Right.
then it was getting a little bit too serious, where this kind of felt like something bad could happen in some way. The British dude privately, like, he like messages me and he's like, I tracked them down, I have their identity here, here's their name, here's their address, here's what state they're in, and then they're also actually like a pro league player, and this is the team they play for.
Whoa.
I'm like, damn.
Holy shit.
He had like everything, and I'm like what's your evidence? And then he shows this person's forum history on all the different websites they posted on.
Jesus Christ.
And so I message the, you know, now I think I'm cool, when I message the, you know, the alleged kid, and I'm like, the jig is up, buddy. And then they're like, what are you talking about? I don't know. And I said their full government name, and then I said their occupation and stuff like that, and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then they blocked me and they left the server like immediately.
Dang.
So that was like, I've never had an experience like that again.
That's insane,
That is
dude.
wild, yeah.
Yeah, that
Fucking
was
hell.
very, very interesting to watch that unravel. I still wonder if it really did go down like that. Like, is that really what happened? I'll never know. But
I don't know.
they did
Yeah.
like immediately leave after that, so who knows?
That's like the evil, like fucked up version of Sarah's Thunder.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So that happened. What was the question again?
It was just like crazy stories from just some social club.
There was that. I remember like a character who was like an older dude in his 30s that would like flex his money, but I don't quite remember.
I think I remember that guy.
Yeah, and I remember we had a lot of like laughs about that, but I can't really remember exactly what happened. Honestly, I have a terrible memory, and like all of social club is like a blur now.
Yeah.
Everything is always a blur for me, but I've like passed the point where I can recall
Yeah.
specifics. And then yeah, it was really good until it wasn't. At some point I feel like I kind of lost the plot of like why I made the server, and I became like obsessed with making it active. And
Yeah.
I like kind of rethought my approach to like who I let in, and that kind of caused it to fall apart because I let in people I normally wouldn't, who
Yeah.
were very like attention seeking. And then I found out that I had made too many people mods, and I wasn't making good mods. I was making like people that I know mod, and then it created an awkward dynamic where it's going to come across as a slight if I remove their mod privileges.
Yeah.
And it was becoming to the point where like there were times here and there where like two people would argue and I would like put myself in the middle and try to fix it. It was getting to a point where several people were arguing and they were like basically kids, and there's no solution to that. They're just going to be annoying.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then I had mods that were fighting people and people that were fighting mods, and basically the moment I had that slip up, it was over. It was the vibes were totally gone. It was no longer an
Yeah.
interesting server to be in. It was total shit, and then I couldn't rely on anybody to like help me. Because the thing is I don't want to sound like egotistical, but obviously I have a kind of obsession with like curating a vibe or whatever,
Mhm.
and I don't think that's like a common interest that people have, and so I don't think my mods kind of had that same ability. Like I was basically just telling them rules, but they were all very kind of like fluid, if this then that rules that you can't really objectively give out. So it just didn't work. It was all just nonsense. And then I found out that a bunch of mods were like fighting behind the scene, and I just found out there was a bunch of drama that nobody even told me about, and I was like, okay, this is pretty much done with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could definitely. There's definitely a big shift in like the different eras of that server. The last era was definitely the worst because it was like the culture was so much different than like how it was even like a couple months before. It was all these like Twitter people who were like Dream stans.
Yep.
Someone posted like Dream merch, and like everyone was like, "Oh, it's so cool." I'm like, dude, this guy would have died if he was in like the server like
Yeah.
a year ago. This guy would have gotten murdered.
Would have crucified this motherfucker.
Yeah, I have in my notes. I was like, the last era of Social Club was really weird. Like, how did you deal with that? Because you had people that were like obsessed with you, which is it never happened before. Like you were always just
That
like the guy. You were just like a guy in the server, and then
yeah.
all of a sudden you had this weird like fandom, almost
Yeah,
in the server.
and I forgot about that until you mentioned it, but I fucking hated that because it's like you said, where in the beginning, like I was just a dude, and I'm sure that I got some sort of special treatment, but it was never vocalized. It was just kind of like you're on good terms with everybody kind of thing, and that was fine.
Yeah.
But what happened was there was a huge shift in like the median age of the server, and it basically devolved from like a kind of highly regulated like niche chat room to basically just being like a stan Twitter comment section or like brain rot TikTok comment section. That's all it devolved
Yeah.
into.
Yeah.
And like, you know, in that group, because I'm the owner of the group, I was in a way like popular, and then they would like kind of suck up to me and like give me a lot of compliments and stuff. And when you first get that, it feels nice because you're getting a bunch of attention and compliments. But at some point, it was like if I was to say hi in the chat, it would I couldn't have a normal conversation. It would be people calling me like literally like they would call me God and stuff like that. And
Fuck.
they I kind of got like shooed away from my own server because nobody would just have a normal conversation with me, and I felt like ironically super lonely and like pushed away because I just wanted to, you know, like have a normal. I wanted it to be like the good days, man, where we could just joke around about stuff. But now I just have a bunch of like 15-year-olds calling me God, and I was like, I just can't do this anymore. I can't be here.
Yeah.
Do you think it like at like any point, like, you know, obviously like the social club was really popular from what Vicky's shown me. Do you think it ever like really like got to your head, like sort of like that power?
Definitely, I would say at some point, because the thing is like power is this relative thing, and in groups, you know, somebody does hold power of that group, and that gives you like a kind of drunk confidence. I'm sure I was like a dick a lot of the time, or I would like fucking throw my weight around, something like that. And I think I was getting a shorter and shorter fuse because in the early days, I would dedicate like my whole day to managing social club, but that wasn't an issue because I had all this free time, and it was pretty self-sustaining. Towards the end of it, it became a lot of like putting out fires, and I had created a Minecraft server connected to social club, and people would have like fights on the Minecraft server, and I remember I would basically get pinged and pulled away from like whatever else I was doing at any time of day. I remember like 3 monitors with 8 different windows up of all the different social club related tasks, and I basically created this like social club task force that would do some of the stuff that I would normally do in the back end that they would take care of. And
your own private army.
Yeah, basically. And it just became like so fucking much. Became way too much. I forgot the question. What was the question?
Like the power, like getting to your head.
Oh yeah, I think definitely I had like a bad attitude towards the end because what I was just talking about, it was making me lose my patience, and it was getting to the point where normally I hope I tried to handle it maturely. I would kind of just like tell people to fuck off, or I would be like just do what I say or I'm gonna ban you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a move.
Yeah. I always had that energy, I think, but in like a somewhat mature way. I would definitely hear people talk about being intimidated by me, which is bizarre to hear when you know that in real life you're just like a scrawny, nerdy dude who's obsessed with the internet. So it was weird to have that impression on people. But yeah, I think I had an attitude problem for a while there.
That's fair. I can't even blame you. I'd probably do the same fucking shit. If I had a fucking big ass server, I'd be like, I am God, I'm the king.
Yeah, I had people like saying that to me. So it's initially it was very, very enjoyable until it wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this, but the movie nights were cool. I liked the movie nights a lot. We would have like regular, I don't know if it was weekly or what, but like I would put on a movie, tons of people would join and we would just all watch it together. I thought that was very sweet.
That's
like
great.
that.
So that's a good memory for sure.
Yeah, that's nice.
What else do we have to discuss of social club?
And it's
Oh, this is Bixter's territory.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so much. So much stuff happened. I was never a VC Andy. I was always a chat Andy. So it's like, it was definitely 2 different worlds entirely.
Oh, yeah.
And granted, I was 19, so my view might not be the same now. But there's lots of people that I straight up just did not like.
I think, yeah, you're pretty much the only person I'm still in touch with.
So you're like pretty much entirely disconnected from social club at this point.
Yeah, and you know, I'm sad that it went down the way it did, and I feel guilty for it, but also like at this point in my life, it's completely behind me. I've like kind of
Moved on.
forgotten about. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm doing
Yeah.
other shit now, and I feel like I learned a lot, and I did have good experiences, and I think one day it'll amount to like me creating something else.
Yeah. Would you ever want to make like something like that ever again?
Yeah, absolutely. And right now I'm kind of toying around with the idea, but it's like focused around uh VR chat.
Mm.
Oh
I'm just
yeah.
kind of wondering, will my current fixation last? Because if it doesn't, there's not much point in doing this because VR chat would be my new like Omegle mechanism where like that's how I funnel people in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of it because it's um another layer. It gives us more to do together. We can go to worlds and play games and stuff like that. So I'm very curious about that.
Yeah, it's definitely possible to do something like that because I looked into a type of thing like that, like not making it but joining one, and I found one and it was so well run and like it felt like when I joined, like the owner like welcomed me and there was like 20 people and they introduced me to people. It felt like a real life like social event. It was like it was like crazy to me. I didn't.
For what server?
It was in VRChat. It was
Oh,
a
okay.
server, but like they did VRChat events like every like week or something. Um, but it was ran like it was like a funded social event. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Shit.
I don't know if that's something you want to do, but people are. It's definitely possible. But
Yeah.
obviously, it takes a lot of time to manage something like that.
Yeah, I have a lot of admiration for people who can do that stuff and do it well. And like after all those experiences, I'm now like hypercritical of like people that have Discord servers. Like how come you didn't say hi to this person that joined, or like how come you didn't include this person that's clearly trying to get their foot in the door of your conversation,
Yeah.
or like how come you have like 800 fucking channels that you did not need.
That shit pisses me off so bad in Discord servers,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, with your doofy little font, like your little pseudo cursive font.
Yeah, yeah.
Emojis, little flower
Yeah.
emojis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm yeah, like I have kind of a admiration for when people can really do it well and like bring people together in like a
Yeah.
Discord server. But yeah, I want to do that again. I don't want to force it. I want it to like
Have it
be
naturally.
an appropriate time where it would actually be beneficial and I would have a good time with it.
Yeah. Like legitimately make friends instead of just inviting like strangers, sort of thing.
Yeah. I do
Yeah.
think that the next time would probably be the last time, and I would try my best to kind of do it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'd definitely be keen on joining if you ever do something like that again.
Yeah.
Because
I would
I am
definitely
not,
let you know.
like, yeah, outside of that server, I think I haven't, I haven't been active like any other server, like public type server like that.
Yeah.
I think ever
I never
since
have
then,
been again. Like since
which is
yeah,
upsetting.
I think I used to be. I can't even remember now. But ever since Social Club, I do not speak in any Discord servers whatsoever. I'm in a bunch of them because maybe like I needed help with like how to do this in this game or how to do this in Unity or something. But
Yeah.
I am not like participating in anything at all.
Yeah,
This doesn't feel
I'm
right.
the exact same. I'm a lurker, distant lurker from
oh
now
yeah,
on.
same.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like in public discourse especially, like so much conversation is just fucking farts in the wind. It's just
Yeah.
like you say some shit and it's just gone, and it's like, okay, well, that was a waste of my fucking time. Why am I trying? It's
Yeah,
like,
or like you say hi, like nobody replies to you, and it's like, do I say hi again, or
yeah,
do I leave the server now? Like I don't know what to do. It's just
yeah,
anxiety inducing.
I did that earlier, like because I knew that it would go that way. I joined a server. It was specifically for like making VR chat avatars, and I have a friend that does that like for work, and I'm like, can you like put me on to any, you know, insider knowledge? And she's like, there's this server. So I join it, and I go into the general one, not like any niche one, but just the general chat. And I go hi, and nobody responds, and I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this kind of server. Yeah, it's so fucking. I don't know. Online like culture has really shifted, and me like from like I don't know. The turning point, at least in my experience, was like 2018, 2019 was when like I guess it was really when young people started discovering Discord, you know, like
Oh,
14,
100%.
15-year-olds were like started flooding in at like in 2018 onwards, and shit just became unbearable in any public Discord.
Yeah. Discord dropped the whole like we're just little gaming elves to like come get groomed, guys. Come on in. Shovel people in. It's like,
Shovel the kids in, shovel the kids in.
They open the floodgates.
Literally.
Throw them into the pedophile pit.
literally the saw like needle pit. They're just shoving kids in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
It's like, oh no.
No. Stop.
God.
Stop bringing kids in there.
So brutal.
It's awful.
Yeah, I wrote this down. This is something that I don't know if I even should bring it up because it's kind of upsetting to think about. But how much crazy stuff do you think happened like through people DMing each other in social club? Well, just
Lots.
like there's probably so many stories and like stuff that we just have no idea about.
I
Because
am
it's like
sure that truly awful shit happened behind closed doors.
oh yeah,
I have
100%.
zero doubts.
It's crazy.
I've gotten weird messages for sure. About, you know, people like wanting to tell me about their lives, or like people really wanting to be my friends, but you don't do that by like messaging me incessantly every single day over and
Yeah.
over, and then telling me what you had for dinner and stuff like that. It felt very parasocial. That was
That would
like
work.
a word
That
at
would
the
work
time.
on me.
That's
If
crazy.
someone messaged me every day and told me what they had for dinner, I'd become their friend.
Maybe I should introduce the two of you.
Yeah.
You're gonna ruin your life, Sam.
It's like, dude, you made ravioli? That's sick. How was it?
you guys
Yeah,
only talk about dinner stuff and nothing else.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty weird, but yeah, I have no doubt there was absolute degeneracy happening, because like part of like the appeal of the social club is that we were all clearly degenerates, but like trying to be nice people
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not burden anybody. So I'm sure there was maybe like offshoot group chats or people making, you know, quote unquote friends.
Yeah.
Pretty gnarly stuff. I am happy that I don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
Let's keep it that way.
Yes, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some shit. Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, I don't want to end up like the Omegle guy and have to make this long post like I am become death.
I'm-
Social club. Yeah,
Ah.
social club is your nuke.
Yeah.
Social club 1 and 2. Oh yeah, dude. Like, what was up with social club 2? Was that just you being like? Okay, I guess first of all, I'll ask: do you regret deleting the OG server, or
No.
are you just happy that it's all gone?
I have this habit where if I become, how would you even say it? If I have regrets, I want to disappear. Like when I first like moved out of town, I just deleted all of my socials. I didn't say bye to anybody. I just left, and I wanted it that way. That's why I picked Roxas for the avatar, because he has this moment where he runs away from his like family, so to speak, and then his one friend is like, no, don't do it, and he's like, no one would miss me, and then he leaves.
Nobody would even miss me. I don't care.
So I think I've always held on to that line. But anyway, the point is when I'm done with something, I want to forget it, and I want it to not exist anymore. So I wanted to Thanos snap social club basically,
Yeah.
and then I think I tried to make a social club 2 immediately after, but I think in my head I knew that it doesn't work like that. You can't put the pieces back together. And then I thought about it recently. I actually did try to make one again. I reached out to James about it, but I think he's moved on, and I felt kind of awkward about it. I felt like I was kind of being a bother, and then I was actually afraid to go on Omegle. It was still up at the time, and I was afraid of being recognized, and it was crazy because throughout all of the social club, I never had any type of anxiety or worries about it, but I was genuinely like scared of. I was like sitting in front of the screen, hovering over like the paste button for the link. I think I sent it 3 times, and then I deleted the server.
Damn.
That was maybe like a few months ago.
That's
So was that
wild.
just like a knee-jerk reaction making social club too, or
Yeah, I think everyone, including myself, expected me to like make a second one to kind of fix it, but the genie was already out of the bottle. The energy was not there. You can't.
yeah?
Yeah.
You can make energy, but you can't turn bad energy into good energy like that, I think.
Hmm.
Because
Yeah, it's unrecreatable.
if you put logic into it, I would basically have to handpick the good ones and then ignore the people I don't want in the new one, and that would be a whole other.
Yeah,
That doesn't go well.
Yeah.
Like a weird.
Yeah.
Even though like,
Uh,
yeah, I think the self-sustaining feature, you really need that, because
Yeah.
they'll do it for you. You don't have to be like the Gmod admin picking up people and dragging them to like quarantine.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Putting them in gamer
Exactly.
jail.
the fuck it, the cuck cage.
The cock cage. Yeah.
Good times, dude. I loved that thing. That was like one of my crowning achievements in social club.
Sam, it was a channel called the Cuck Cage, and we would put people in there who were being naughty, and they couldn't do anything. They could send like one message every like hour or something stupid like that.
And then
That's fucking good.
all that was in there was a picture of Jim from The Office, and it's the one scene. I'm trying to find it right. It's this. I just put it in the server. It was a picture, not a GIF, and that was supposed to be me looking into the cuck cage at you.
It's just Jim peeking through the blinds. Classic.
Yeah, and it
Judging
was like a very fun group activity because it was to the point where they knew the game. So when somebody was being annoying, everyone's like, "He's gonna go in the cage. He's gonna go in the cage."
Put him in the cut cage.
Because I think everybody could see it, and then I would mess around with it. There were times where the person in the cut cage could see all the other channels and just not interact with them, and then there were other times where he could only see that channel.
when they've been really naughty.
Yeah, and it was like because I'm the kind of person where I always have to win. I always have to, and so a lot of trolls, they win if you ban them. And I'm like, well, now
Yeah.
you're not banned. Now you have to leave.
Yeah. That's
So I
great.
had a great time with the cut cage. Anytime I make anything, I'm like, how do I do that again?
I need the cuck cage. It's a
I'll never
necessity.
forget you.
My glorious cuck cage, my beauty,
My greatest creation.
my crowning jewel.
There's a lot of little cool, what would you say? Like little nuances to the server like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Its earlier version was something that I called the volcano, which was very short-lived, but it's where I would literally just Thanos snap like 40 people with no like discrimination, just totally random. I would just delete 40 people from the server. And it was like this. I made a big show of it. Like I'd start typing in all caps and I'd start spamming. So then it was like a very like ooga chaka. Like everybody starts
Yeah.
chanting, and then they
Like
start typing
sacrifices.
volcano emojis. Yeah, and then I would not click on people and ban. I would do like type commands. That way everyone gets to be like no, 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 and then they just disappear.
Shit was great.
It was a smoke screen though. I was actually banning people that were being problematic. Some of them were not, and they were just caught in the crossfire. But it was like a fun way to create hype while also taking out the trash.
Yeah. It's like a fun event while also cleaning up the fucking server. Yeah.
Yeah, good times. I think that's part of what the charm of the place was is we don't follow the rules. We do things different around here.
Yeah.
We're different.
That was part of the good appeal to it, because a lot of people they take rules very, very seriously and they make you read all this shit, and it was a big thing of pride for me that the only rule was be cool. It was is that what it was, Vayner? It just said be cool, and then
I
like
think so.
9 billion people were like putting reactions to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was one of the early bad omens, was the day that I had to put actual rules. I was like, shit is different now.
Mm-hmm.
Not the same. People can't honor the one rule anymore.
And I can't just be cool anymore.
They can't. People don't make them like they used to.
Straight up.
But I think the vibe of the server was very apparent when you poked around the channels and stuff like that. That was important to me. It was that you got a sense of personality just from like looking at it. Because when you join a Discord server, you don't really know what the people are gonna be like. You don't know if people will be on the same vibe as you, or if they'll understand your jokes or whatever. So I wanted it to come across immediately, whether or not you would get along with these people.
Yeah.
Kind of
That makes
make it
that's
through that awkward phase.
Yeah.
We also had I don't know if Vayner ever told you this, but I had a pet peeve where people would join the server and then they would ask something. They would all ask one thing. Do you remember, Vayner?
Wait, I can't remember.
What do you do? What do you guys do here?
What do you guys do here?
What a dog shit question.
Yeah, because it's like, well, what do you think? Because you found this place from Omegle, and then you found it from a copy-paste blurb that says, this is a server for people who want to make friends and socialize and nothing else. And then you join the server, and you could see that we're all just having a kind of conversation about whatever. So, what are you even asking? What, like, do you think this is like a hentai server?
Yeah.
And so, there was a thing where if you typed "what do you guys do here" word for word, a meme would pop up. It's like that one meme template where like a bird is saying something in a speech bubble and the other bird interrupts it. Yeah, we had
It's just
that.
the same thing on the cue card. Yeah.
It was like, hey, welcome to. What do you guys do here?
What do you guys do here? That was good.
Any girls?
Any girls?
Any girls?
ASL?
ASL? Oh god. ASL has died. People don't ask that anymore.
Dude, kids don't even know what that
Yeah.
is. People don't even know what that stands
They'll
for.
be like, nah, I never took it in class.
They'd be like, I never did the ice bucket challenge.
Yeah.
Kids these days, am I right?
Kids these days. I hate them. I hate them.
They only know
God damn
the
it.
ice bucket challenge. And get groomed on Discord.
Challenge. I'm going back to TeamSpeak, goddammit.
All they do is eat hot chip and get groomed.
Yeah. And look at TikTok. No, okay, that's too real. We love. No, I can't say that. We appreciate everyone here.
All shapes,
Yes.
sizes,
Yes.
ages. Well, no, not.
No.
Hold on.
Maybe
I
not.
Hold
like
on.
that.
Pull it back.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
All shape sizes. Perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
That's everyone.
Yeah.
Unless you're like a
square.
toddler and 2 feet tall.
I
Or
love
square.
everybody an appropriate and normal amount.
Yeah, that's good.
I love everyone very normally.
Yes.
I'm a normal person.
I'm a normal person. I love everyone in a normal way because I'm a normal guy.
There is no need for me to be on any watch lists anywhere.
Take me off them.
Please. Yeah, one thing I just remembered from Social Club was we had oof and XD were banned words. You could not type them in the
Oh
server.
yeah.
That was great.
Yeah. I was at the time oof was like in everybody's vocabulary and it
fucking-
felt kind of like a conversation killer. I think also I just had an irrational peeve for it.
I
But
had
at
the
the same
exact same
time-
peeve.
It also kind of felt like, yeah, it just kills the conversation,
It-
and
yeah.
I was sick of it. and then XD I just thought was cringy at the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it got lumped into that, and then there was also around the Dream Stand era of Social Club, everybody was doing that thing where they would like put a hyphen at the end of the sentence to like emulate that they were stuttering,
Yeah.
or they would put I and the hyphen, and I made it so if they typed in I with a hyphen, it would auto generate the meme of the guy from SpongeBob that goes, "You what?"
I fucking God. I hate how people like type as well. Like the people put on these weird like personas even in chat, and it's really odd. Like some people
Yeah.
speaking like specific fonts and shit, and like all their letters are bolded or so, like italicized, and it's like, what are you doing? Just talk like a human.
Yeah, people really want to do the most with their typing.
They want to, yeah. It's like they want to like stand out really bad. And it's like,
Yeah.
relax.
Feels like a bit much. Oh, and we had another thing too towards the end of it where I kind of reformatted how we let people in. I called it onboarding, where I recruited helpers, where they would do my job for me, and when you join the server, you get put into like a private channel and you can't see anything else, and then somebody with the helper role would say, "How old are you?" I think, and if they said a number below, I don't know, like 17 or something, they would just get banned instantly, like
Yeah.
automatically. And so then we had a joke where if you didn't like somebody, you'd say, "Hey, what's 10 plus 4?" They would get banned.
That's a fucking strategy. Just don't like them and just ban
Yeah, I didn't care that people did it because it was so funny.
them.
It's
Fucking hell.
beautiful.
Yeah, one of the final like hurrahs of that place, the final funny thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It was.
Well,
Huh?
yeah. You go.
No, you go, baby boy.
You go.
Oh my God, you go.
Well, I was gonna ask about like the end of social, like it's more specific.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the end of social club.
Yeah, my question was similar. So, okay, so like, I had posted a meme that was, well, it was very obvious to anyone over the age of 16 that server was about to be deleted, like pretty soon, within like like a month before it did, just because you could just kind of tell that you were like burnt out. And I don't know if you remember this. I photoshopped like a DM of you saying you were gonna delete the server in a couple days, and then I posted it or something, and like all the Twitter people started like freaking out.
That's awesome.
And then like, but then it actually did get deleted a couple of weeks later, and I thought I was like, did I have like a say in that? Did I have like a
I think
hand
you
in that?
did.
That's
I think
hilarious.
that I thought it was funny, but I also like took it as a sign, like a sign from the universe, where it's like he's doing the goodbye for you, so you kind of just follow.
Yeah.
up on that.
Yeah.
But I forgot that happened. I still don't remember that, but that sounds hilarious.
It was great.
And yeah, towards the end of it, I can't quite remember. I just remember it was all just very lame and not interesting, and it was almost kind of like we got pushed out by that new culture essentially. Like
Yeah.
they ate the old one, and you either were one of those people or you're just not gonna have fun there anymore. And I would assume at the time that I basically just like stopped typing there entirely.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, it was basically just like a dead body, just rotting for a while. That's why I finally deleted it.
It was the ending was, it's very similar. If you've seen Parks and Recreation all the way through, have you?
I have not seen any of it.
Okay, well there's a scene where one of the main characters comes to work, and he realizes that all of his coworkers have left. He doesn't know anybody, and then that's the moment where he like quits his job and like goes and retires. But he's like, yeah, I went there and I realized like I didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
It's very similar to Social Club. It's like,
Yeah.
damn, I don't know any of these people. Where's fucking BB Bull at, dude? Where's Where's Sarah Slender? It's all these strange characters that
Yeah.
are 6 years younger than I am.
It felt very daycare type vibes. And I had like a similar experience at the trade school, right? I had a friend group, and one by one, they were getting expelled or like graduating or going home or whatever, and it felt like they were getting picked off. And then that place was similar to Final Days Social Club, where everybody was like a character in a bad way, where you're just surrounded by insanity or nonsense or just drooling idiots. And so everyone that I knew was gone by the end of it, and then I'm just alone in this weird prison-esque hellscape, because the school was owned by the same people that managed the prisons. So we had the white brick walls. When you first get like onboarded, they hand you a white mesh laundry bag with like prison socks and then like a stick of deodorant. Everything
you
is
didn't
like
just go to prison.
Yeah. What?
it felt like, I always tell people, it felt like prison and community college put together. Because like we had our little like awful Hanes uniforms. Everything was like an old dusty color that hadn't been painted since like the 70s. You would hear stories about the people that died there and like the murders, and
It's like asbestos in the walls.
yeah, like people were like selling coke and shit.
Damn.
But yeah, it was kind of like when it happened in Social Club, I was like, oh, not this shit again.
God damn.
Can't escape it.
You can't, dude. Especially fucking online. It's so hard to keep like people you don't like out, especially once you know like so many people and they start inviting their mates, and then it's like, shit. That's when it
Yeah.
all starts to go to fucking prison hell.
Yeah, that was what I learned, is that it is a slippery slope, and you need to be on it at all times. You need to not
Yeah.
like forget the thing you set out to do to begin with, or it's all gonna just kind of collapse on itself.
Yeah. Well, alright. Random question.
Mm.
Who's the most famous person you think you've ever met or interacted with?
I don't think I've met anybody.
Well, you
Like
met Kyle
Anna?
Rittenhouse.
You did.
I met Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When?
You had the whole thing with
You, you had that GoFundMe.
yeah.
A GoFundMe?
Yeah.
Are you guys trolling?
No.
No. You set up a GoFundMe for Kyle Rittenhouse for the bullets he wasted.
You guys are so fucked.
What do you mean?
What are you talking about?
You guys are like gaslighting me. You
No,
can't do
you-
this to somebody like me, bro.
No, but you set that up because you were like, they were criminals anyway. It was just like, it's for like the 4 bullets out of his, it was like M16 or something.
Yeah, it's his AR.
You guys can't do this because I'll believe you if you say it enough times.
You paid back for the bullets you
You're
spent.
smiling. This guy's fucking with me. He's smiling. I can hear him smiling.
I'm not cheesing. You think I'm cheesing? This is serious.
I heard it.
I ain't
It's gonna
smiling.
make me like feel like I need a straight jacket.
Like your prison that you've already been to.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna need to go into the mental ward or something.
So is that not something you want to talk about, or?
Yeah.
I have no. Okay, no matter how I answer this, it's weird. You guys are genuine. This is supposed to be like a pleasant, nice interview. Now it's like an Eric Andre skit.
It's not a skit. I have it in my notes.
This is a skit. For anybody that's watching this, I am not a part of this. They're doing this by their own design. They are fucking with me.
But the
I don't even
GoFundMe's
know,
there.
I don't know how to make a GoFundMe. Show me the GoFundMe. Put it up right now. Put it on the screen. Okay, for anybody watching at home, here's a Photoshop made by Becky right now of the GoFundMe that they're alleging that I was a part of.
I just a screenshot of the website that's still up right now.
Okay. I want to see the link to it. You can show it to me right now, live.
It hit like 30 grand. You only had like a $500 goal. With the rest of the
You
money
don't think
go?
I would have like ran with 30 grand? I wouldn't even be here right now. I'd be like in Jamaica right now.
Dude, Kyle Rittenhouse would have come to your house and killed you.
I could take him.
Dude.
He's like a little like pudgy fucking
He
doughboy. I
is.
think I could take him as well.
He's like 5'4"
Yeah.
or something.
But yeah, it's still kind of fucked up that you gave him all that money.
All that money for the wasted ammo. Another random question here.
Go ahead. Not Kyle Rittenhouse.
Could you
related.
take Cemetery in a fight? The rapper
The rapper?
from Haunted Mount.
He doesn't look that big.
He's tall, but he's skinny. He smokes a lot of cigarettes.
It's like me.
I don't think I could take anybody in a fight.
Really? How are you short? How tall are you?
I'm 5'7".
We're the same height. What are you? Okay,
I'm
but-
also
Sorry.
no.
Surrounded by a bunch of shorties. That's what I had to say.
I'm not really a fighter, and even if I was, I don't think I would be a good fighter.
Okay, that's a fair answer.
And he looks very menacing in these videos that I'm looking at.
He's a scary looking guy, fella.
I will say he looks about as skinny and not intimidating as me.
Probably he's tall. Though.
It's an even match, you think?
I think so. I mean, he has a height differential, but I could like go for his knees.
All right.
Yeah. Bust his kneecaps out.
Yeah. Oh, there's a picture of him with Chief Keef. I think that's cool.
Yeah, he has
Good for him.
a song with Chief Keef and is really not good.
Alright, I have a question for Becky. Why did you write Barry Pepper?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know, dude.
We were doing this bit like the other night. Barry Pepper, he was one of the actors in Saving Private Ryan, and we were putting on this deep Southern accent, going, "Barry Pepper, I'm Barry Pepper," and like doing dumb
Good
shit
bit,
like that.
He doesn't sound like that at all.
No, yeah, and then we looked up a video, and he sounds like the most normal guy in the world.
He's
He's
like,
like,
"Oh, hello,
"Hey,
I'm
what's
Barry
up,
Pepper."
everybody?" Yeah, it's me, Barry Pepper.
But yeah, we were looking at cast members of movies, and we're like, I'm Barry Pepper, and I support, you know.
I support apartheid.
I support apartheid.
I support apartheid.
Bring back the troops.
The South will rise again.
Put the troops in Florida.
I
Yeah, they
stand
really-
with Palestine or Israel. I forget which
I
one.
forget which one.
I mean, I don't know what the difference is.
So is Israel the one fighting Ukraine?
Which one's Syria? I forget.
Jamie, pull that up.
Jamie, pull up Syria.
Jamie, pull up that video of the guy putting the condom on his head.
Jamie, pull that up.
Pull
All right, I have
pull up the Kyle Rittenhouse GoFundMe.
I pull up the Kyle Rittenhouse GoFundMe, overlaid with the video of the guy putting the condom on his head.
Don't key it in.
All right, I have a question. This is off the cuff. This isn't on the notes.
Okay.
Mm.
Do you think like a website like Omegle could ever like truly be established again, or do you think that era is like over now?
Well, the beauty of Omegle, I think, was that it was the first one with notoriety.
Yeah.
So it was novel because nobody, I think, was aware of that. And so everybody knew that you would go to that one. Now we have all kinds of different websites that serve that same purpose. And so it's all fragmented. All of them probably have like 100 people between them.
Yeah.
I think it would take something going viral to like kind of reset everything to where it's like the one main website. So I think it's possible, but that person would have to be like a marketing genius or very lucky.
Yeah. Because I don't know. I feel like the main appeal, at least of Omegle for me, was one-on-one conversations with strangers, and you can't really get that anymore.
Yeah.
Like anywhere. Like even because in Discord you're joining a big group, so it's like shit.
You know,
But-
I think it would be a Giga Chad Sigma brain move for Discord to integrate it into Discord.
That would be
I could
interesting.
see that going very, very poorly.
Yeah.
There would need to be a lot of moderation, or they would have to like look the other way for the entirety of it.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, it probably wouldn't happen because they know what it would lead to. But
Yeah.
I think that would be the most logical evolution of it, where, because like usually people that have Omegle end up talking on Discord. It would make a lot of sense for there to just be a button. It'd be very simple.
Yeah.
And then,
Because isn't there that bot? There's a bot that does that. I swear to God, that matches you with a
was,
random.
Yes.
Yeah.
Random, like-
a random
I've heard of
person using
that.
the same bot.
Yeah.
I will say there's an interesting phenomenon with like talking to somebody on those websites where you both feel obligated to be there in the moment and to speak immediately, interact immediately. So it's kind of nice because you have this person's undivided attention almost every time.
Yeah,
And there were
exactly.
times in the past where I'd be like, hey, I actually really like you. Do you want to like actually be friends and then talk on Discord? And the
Yeah.
moment we do, we never speak again, or we speak like once every 4 days for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and it's, which is crushing, by the way, because I am somebody who can easily message somebody on and on and on
Yeah.
without
yeah.
stopping. But I've learned now, if I was to like use those websites again, I'd be like, all right, nice meeting you, bye, never talk again now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get that, but also, obviously, I met Becky here in one of those fucking shitty websites, so
Yeah.
there's
It's
still a little bit of hope in my mind.
yeah. It's definitely hard to find someone that you immediately that you can know that you click with them, and then also
Yeah.
click with them for like a long friendship period of time. But there, Shublu, I'm surprised you. I don't know if you know about this, but there's a VRCHAT map called No Time to Talk.
Yeah, I know about it.
That is the only time I've like enjoyed using VRChat because it forces people to talk to you. They have to talk
Yeah.
to you. I mean, they can just leave, but it forces people to actually like, you know, engage
Yeah.
with conversation.
You know what's
I
funny
felt-
is sorry, go ahead.
No, you go, you go. What was
I didn't
important?
understand how it worked, and so I thought people were skipping me in the middle of me talking. The first time I
really?
went there. Yeah. I didn't realize that there was like a, I don't know, 2-minute timer, and so I'd be like, it would be like, oh, we're kind of getting along, we're kind of like hitting it off, and then I'd
Yeah.
be like talking about like myself or something, and then they disappear, and I'm like, wow.
Fuck that
Wow.
guy.
Yeah. There's nothing more
Yeah.
that's a more critical blow to the ego than somebody not gracing you with like saying bye or like I have to get going, and they just
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
like, this is not a human to me. I can just leave now.
Yeah. That's my issue with No Time to Talk is the timer. Like, you should be
Yeah,
able to
the
like turn
timer.
it off if like the conversation's like going well or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
You can
'Cause-
extend the timer. If
Can
you
you?
both press the button, yeah, it extends the timer.
I did not know that.
Me neither.
That's really cool.
That is cool.
I'll have to go
Modern
there
Omegle.
tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's also an Omegle world, and it was funny because
Yes.
I'm like, oh, this is so fascinating because it's 1 inch closer to like there being accountability because there's a profile and a name and an avatar. So
Yeah.
this will be a nicer version of Omegle. No,
Yeah,
no,
it's
everybody
not,
just
it's
saying
not.
that the N word or like making fun of me or
Screaming.
like just trying to be annoying, and it was
Yeah.
so, it was like a comical, fatal blow of like realization of like, no, this is shit. This is so much worse than what I imagined.
Yeah. Me and
Yeah,
Sam
it's-
have gone in that world before.
There's always like groups of people as well, like on the other side of the Omegle
Yeah, they're trying to
thing.
be funny for their friends.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
It's very.
Did you ever
Yeah.
use like Omegle video chat?
No, I remember I had this time in high school where I did, and people would skip me, and I was like, they think I'm ugly, and then I never did it again.
Damn.
I actually
I-
didn't even know that people used it. Like, I met somebody on VRChat that was like, oh yeah, I would go on Omegle video chat, and I would just point the camera at the ceiling, and I was like, damn, there's like a whole other world I never even knew about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went on there like not long before it shut down, to be honest, because I like to get drunk and go on Omegle because I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
And God, I made some interesting fucking characters. The video chat Omegle is like a whole different realm.
It's like raised stakes.
Yeah, the stakes are raised because they know what you look like and you know what they look like. So like,
Yeah.
But it also kind of makes it more like personal.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I've had decent conversations. I had a guy draw a picture of me.
That's my favorite
one of my
screenshot
favorite-
ever.
It's one of my favorite pictures of all time. It's this shitty like
can you
it's
pull that up?
we could. I would be keen to pull that up. I think it's a hilarious.
Yeah, I want to see
image.
that. I do have a time that my friend, he was going on. No, I think they told me to go on Omegle and talk to people, and I crack under pressure very easily. So they were like saying stuff to me to make me laugh, and
Yeah.
like they were like implying that I was like raising up the girl, and she's like, "Why are you laughing?" And I was like, "I have a disability." I was like, have you ever seen the Joker?
Dude, that's the same shit I say if I'm on like no time to talk and I'm like screen sharing. I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
I have like voices in my head. I'm sorry. I'm like fucked up, dude. Sorry.
I have like brain damage. My bad.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. And like
I always go for the
usually-
brain damage card. That always works.
Yeah, I don't ever feel awkward on the internet, thankfully, for whatever reason. But I have never felt unbelievably awkward. I'm scrolling through his TikTok right now, trying to find it. It'll take me a while, but I know it's there somewhere. I need to find like a thumbnail with my face on it. This guy makes so many TikToks. I don't know how I'll ever find it. This guy's
Oh
on
wait,
his
is he like a
grind.
VRCHAT like TikToker?
No, he's a streamer and he's into Sonic a lot.
Oh hell yeah.
Sonic. I can see some Five Nights at Freddy's clips here. I would say he's variety, I guess. He's a cool guy. Shout out to Forginal.
Shout out to Forginal.
Yeah. Put his name right here on the screen.
Okay. It may or may not be there.
Yeah.
Put his full address.
All right, there it is.
All right. There it is.
Now rotate the text 180 degrees.
Oh my
Now
god.
make it red.
This is
Now make
fucked
it
up.
blue.
This is fucked up
Now
because
make it
I'm
red
the
and blue.
editor. I'm the editor of all of this. Sam doesn't do anything.
Now make
Hey!
it flash red and blue. Like the amount that it would give somebody a seizure if they were prone to them.
I'm gonna be a shit and say I'm gonna edit this one. I'm gonna put fucking Becky's exact coordinates on so that person.
That'd be funny.
And then your house gets fucking firebombed.
It's a nuclear attacked. Shot through my window like Dr. Disrespect or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm never gonna find this clip. Do we have other questions?
Yes.
Yeah, we can wrap it up with this last topic. It's about you being a music producer and also just music in
Mhm.
general, because I definitely bonded with you the most over our music tastes in Social Club.
Mm.
I thought you were like, hell yeah, dude, similar wavelengths.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite albums right now?
Favorite album? I
If-
really liked. Sorry.
No, I would say if you're like an album type person, because some people are like, I just listen to whatever. I don't listen to full albums.
I'm usually not an album guy, but I really liked a handful of songs on the new Yeet album.
Oh, yeah.
I'm unfortunately a huge Drake fan, so usually whenever he comes out with a new album, I like most of the songs.
Nice.
What else? I like Home Shake a lot. He just came out with a song called CD Wallet, which is interesting because in the past he was like kind of a
He's like the lo-fi
Alternative.
sort of, yeah.
lo-fi
Lo-fi
R&B
pop.
type thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then CD Wallet was like gloomy, not shoegaze, but like that kind of vibe, where it was like emo-ish kind of music, which I love Home Shake and I love emo music, so I blew my mind when that came out. That was last month that got dropped.
Shit, I
Nice.
would listen to it. I like
Hopefully-
Home Shake. I think they're
hopefully
great.
Yeah, I love Home Shake.
Home Shake's bomb.
I've been doing that.
Was he the guy that did "Love Is Only a Feeling"? Is that him?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. I
that got
love that
sampled by
song.
Joey Badass. Yeah, that's
Yes,
a
that's right.
Love Is Only a Feeling is in my top 5 songs like of all time.
That
in
song's
life.
so good, dude. I love that
Yeah.
song.
Right
What other
now-
artists?
I've been diversifying a little bit. I kind of have playlists for different things. So I've been listening to a lot of rap, which that's not nothing new, but Drake, Kendrick, Lil Wayne, Ken Carson, and then
Oh my
I've been
god,
listening
Shublu is
to
opium.
yeah,
Tell me.
opium. I have a
Opium,
writing
baby.
playlist which I can only describe as like very high energy kind of crazy garage rock type stuff. It's got like
Oh,
Ty
yeah, yeah.
Wagner, Queens of the Stone Age, Fiddler, Misfits, Surf
Misfits
Curse,
are good. Oh,
Yeah,
Surf
Surf
Curse is
Curse.
great. I love Surf Curse. Yeah.
yeah, Ty
Good.
Segall, stuff like that. And then I've been listening to some like shoegaze, emo music, math rock,
Any
and
like
then
recent albums that like stand out?
for which genre?
Any.
Shoegaze.
Sure, yeah, go shoegaze.
I found out about this artist named Wisp, which I think that she's fantastic. There's a dude I found on TikTok named Flying Fish, which you guys might have heard of because he was, I think, trending on there. I think his music is fantastic. He's also very young, so it's always cool to see somebody at such a young age be so talented.
Yeah.
Nice.
Flying Fish.
It pisses me off personally.
It does. It makes me really sad about myself. There is a band called They Are Gutting a Body of Water, which
Bro.
has some songs that I like.
Okay, the drummer for that did this drums on, or maybe they could. I don't know. One guy from that band worked on my favorite album right now, by Jane.
What's your favorite
Remover.
album?
It's Census is Designated by Jane Remover. It's a shoegaze album. It's really good.
In Remover. Let me see here. Census Designated. Okay, cool.
It's really good.
It is a good album.
Let me add this to my stuff. I'm excited to listen to this.
I saw her in Chicago a couple weeks ago. It was really
Oh,
good.
that's awesome. Did you have a good time?
It was so fun. I moshed like crazy the entire time.
That's badass.
Vicky went in there and knocked out a 14-year-old.
Yeah, I just straight up clocked her, dude.
It wasn't even a mosh. You just ran towards her.
Yeah, it was actually outside the show, just on the
You
pavement.
assaulted
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, this is like, this is like in the Starbucks across the street from the venue.
Yeah, it was like an hour before the show started. Just punched this kid in the mouth.
I had my AirPods in, dude. I don't know where I was.
Yeah, I thought I was at the show. I got confused.
That's awesome. I'll have to find this Omegle clip later.
Yeah, for sure.
Hell yeah.
That's sick though. Yeah, some good shit you've been listening to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Big music fan. Love music.
Hey, us as well.
Yeah, we're big music
Listen
heads
to
over here.
a song or two here and there.
We like a couple tunes. We listen to a couple tunes.
Just a couple.
Just a few. Once every now and again. Oh. So should we wrap this shit up maybe?
I have like 2 more questions.
this
so
sucks.
We can, yeah,
Oh,
this,
go ahead.
Yeah, dude, this
Yeah,
sucks.
this sucks.
I'm getting
Yeah,
real
turn
sick
it
of this. I'm getting real sick of this. So you are a music producer.
Mm.
Who's your dream collab? Like, if you could get someone on a beat, or if you could work with like somebody, Benny X maybe, get on a fucking Yeet feature with Drake.
Probably Shamana. He
I have in my notes.
is.
I guess I'm curious about him. But how about how you know him?
I discovered his music in like 2015 or 16, and it was music that I've always like imagined in my head, but I'd never heard anybody make it before. And like from that point forward, I was like obsessed with his music, and like he's like a huge influence to me. And then I found out that he streamed, and then I started streaming, and we've never like been friends or anything, but I would be in his chat, and then once in a while he would like say hi in mine, and then he invited me to his stream team, and he like has given me advice like 1 or 2 times. I haven't talked to him in a long time or like watched his streams, but as much as I'm like terrified of him, it would be really cool to like get his feedback on a thing, or for him to show me how he does a certain thing, because I have spent countless hours like trying to copy him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
That would be sick if you guys could eventually collab on something.
Yeah. Other than that, I can't really think of any specific person or like producer. I would really like to work with any producer at all that makes music that I like, because I love to see what other people are doing and to learn from them and like, you know, pick up something new. It's not often that I get to see other producers work.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm burping like up a storm.
It's okay.
Oh. Oh,
Alright.
No
smoke my
worries, man.
cigarette.
There you go. Get right.
Oh.
Damn. You good over
Alright,
there?
hit that shit too hard.
It's a solid
Hit that
jab.
shit will do hard.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, because that guy is like a SoundCloud legend, for sure.
Yeah. I think he's a really amazing artist. I'm like endlessly fascinated by his music. It's a huge inspiration to me to this day.
Hell yeah.
What else you got?
Well, I've got a closing. I guess it could be sort of a closing question. What, like, I mean, I guess it's sort of already been answered, but like, what inspired you to make Social Club like in the first place? Like, was
I
it
was
just
really fucking lonely.
yeah?
Yeah.
I was lonely, and I've had this lifelong habit of jumping between like social circles in real life and also on the internet, and it always ends with me being underwhelmed or disappointed. And a lot of my life is motivated by spite. Like the whole Overwatch coaching thing started with me getting coaching, and this guy was being incredibly obnoxious towards me and like condescending and insulting me. And I was like, man, like I'll be a coach just so I can like be better than you, and so I can be nice to people and like not make them feel stupid. And that was how Social Club got made. Is I had been joining a lot of different servers, and I remember specifically joining one, and I said hi, and nobody wanted to talk to me, and they were all basically just e-dating in the general chat. Very like it was like VRCHAT style, aggressive, not subtle flirting that was like one notch below just sexting. And I was like, I like put my hands up, like I in real life was like, all right, okay, I'm done. You know what? I'll do it because none of you know how to do it. I'll do it. And I vividly remember it was like November something 2020, I don't know, at like 2 in the morning. And then I just started spam inviting people over and over and over. And I like really did the most. As soon as somebody joined, I'm like, hey, what's going on? What are you up to? Tell me about yourself. And really tried to like get a vibe going. And then I caught wind that other people that were doing this were automating it using scripts. I tried learning for like 8 minutes and then I gave up. And then I tried lurking around another server. I joined one of the edgy ones, the like edgy degen, look how crazy we are type servers.
Oh yeah.
The dude in there for some reason took a liking to me, and he asked me to watch anime with him, and I figured if I was nice enough he would give me his script. And he showed me like monster girl harem anime, which was really weird. And then he gave me the script, and then I left. And then that was how Social Club started, was that script, which I still
But
have to this day.
what was the anime like? Was it good?
No, it was like a self-insert, like softcore hentai thing.
Oh.
And I was like, why did you pick this? Like, why? And then we just watched it in silence. Like, man,
That's even weirder.
Well, he had one hand on his dick. He couldn't push his push to talk button.
Yeah.
I felt like he was so far gone that this is the only remaining understanding he had of socializing.
Yeah.
Of like two human do thing together.
We will watch softcore porn together.
Yeah, that's all he knew how to watch probably at that point.
Yeah.
So that was how that happened. I was like sick of being disappointed by other people, and I wanted to just do things my way.
Yeah. That makes sense. That adds up. I can respect that hustle, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have anything else, Vayner?
No, not really. Do you have anything you want to plug? I don't know if you
Yeah.
want an
Go
online
plug your
presence
shit.
anymore at this point in time.
I might have an album soon. I have no idea if that's true or not, but like I'm supposed to do that, so maybe in like if you're watching this video and you made it to this point, maybe type in like Spacehead or Shublu on Spotify and maybe something will come up. So yeah,
Hell yeah.
thanks.
All right.
Go to my YouTube, which is don't go to my YouTube because it's not Shublu, so there's no way for me to tell you what it is because I don't remember. It's like just a million random words. But I have a TikTok that says Shublu, and there's like moto vlogging on there, so check that out.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Subscribe
shit.
to
2K Little Monkeys.
yeah.
Yep. The best podcast.
The best podcast in the world.
in the world. Sponsored by Jimmy over there. We got him
Sponsored
up
by
up on a little
our buddy.
totem pole type thing.
Yeah,
you,
sort
Jimmy.
of a celebratory
Jimmy Beast.
totem pole.
Yeah, Jimmy Beast. Jimmy B.
He's jumping up for joy right now.
He's very excited.
He is. He's very happy.
He's the one
I
who
can
was
see
like,
it in
you
his
guys
eyes."
have to get Shublu on your podcast.
Yeah.
We're like, yes, Jimmy,
He
yes, Jimmy,
DM'd
yes, Jimmy.
He DM'd Vicky, like, privately and was like, you need Shublu.
They've been asking me to do this podcast for like months.
Yeah.
And
You finally
you can only
caved,
say
though.
no so many times.
Yeah.
We had to pay you 10 grand to be on here.
Like, the last time they didn't even ask. They just sent me my address and like a picture of like my head like looking through the window.
Yeah, but like, what do you
Pictures
expect
not
us to
from
do?
home.
You wouldn't respond to our other messages.
I just happened to be in California, dude. I was going to Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you were there. I hope you had a good time.
It was
In
fun.
my neighborhood, outside my window.
You have a
Your
really
neighborhood's
nice
really
window.
nice. Yeah. Your lawn
Glad-
is well groomed.
I try my best to take care of my lawn.
Alright,
I have not opened my blinds since then.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for talking.
Thank
thanks
you
for
for
having me.
being on the fucking show.
I had a great time. And
It was a
I'm glad we
goddamn
got to do
pleasure.
this. Yeah, it was really fun. Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah.
You have an infinite wealth of wisdom, I think.
Infinite wealth.
That is not. I have offered no wisdom at all, but thank you.
That's a lie.
That is a
So-
lie.
I'm gonna change how I live now, every day.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, do I just see myself out, or like, do I get escorted?
What-
Or what happens now?
I'll escort you out. Hold on.
Okay, okay.